First, we'll start with a little bit data wrangler, just review a little bit wrangler. Sorry. So this will help you ETL type of work. Again, we'll not go in detail, just to refresh your memory. But the second topic is the most important, called AWS SageMaker. Now, this AWS SageMaker, if you ask me, is if you are going for AWS Cloud AI certification, 50+% questions come from there. Now, SageMaker itself is a pretty advanced. So last week we started with Canvas and Data Wrangler. That is easy topic. But now what we are getting today is deeper topic. Now, deeper topic does require Python knowledge. So many of you have taken Python class, which is plus point. So Python language, in my understanding, is a deal breaker. Now, many of you say, I don't like programming. I trust you, but please understand, one thing you don't like, and one is market like it. So what market wants, we need to learn. So I'll give you crash course kind of thing for practicing, because what we are going to learn is AI/ML today, real AI/ML. And our friend Mahir explained, right, how to train the model, but I'm going further, how to build a model, right? How to build model, right, with data. So with sample data. Then visual analyze that. Once you like it, then you can say build it. But while you're building, you train it. When you train it, you deploy it. And then you test it. So this is the entire life cycle, entire end-to-end life cycle. And actually this exercise I specifically created for Motoseat. So I was waiting for her, but she is not here. So in case she listened to that, see, I promised that I'll show this one. Last time I taught, I did not teach. I specifically create for Motoseat. So I'm recording, so she should get that thing. Again, remember, this is a game changer. What I'm writing at one line, it takes approximately 6 to 9 months of experience. But you will do it. Again, in case if you have trouble, watch recording again. Simple exercise is still better than complex exercise. Once you understand the process, the only change will happen is your sample data will change. The process is mechanical. Make sense? Process is mechanical. Sample data will change. And once your sample data change, and if you feel like machine is not doing good, your training will have extra data. So this is what our friend Mahir was explaining. How do I retrain that? It's not easy. Retraining is not easy. It's very time consuming. But remember last week we talked about two things, data drift. If you remember, data drift and model drift. Please understand. This is going to happen in your interview questions. So data drift means you use data, which is kind of sample data, right? It works. Everything works. But then real life, it does not, right? Why? Because data change. Example, you started the sample data with high school student and you predict their GPA or something. And in real life, you started using college data. Real life data is college, but model was trained with high school. It won't work. Data changed. Or example, you were insurance company, you use Chicago data. It works. But then you real life, you use New York data. It doesn't work. And you say, man, this is not working. That's called data drift. Give me thumbs up if you're understanding. 1 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up. Okay, perfect. 1 thing, 2 thing. Good. Data drift is one of the biggest problem. And you, I think Mahir already identified, hey, there is a problem. It happens, always happens. And you need to do that. So there is a concept called model validation. Again, this is an advanced topic. I will see if I can add how to do that. There is a service available in AWS called model verification. So it checks the model and say, you know what, is it data drift or is it model drift? So what is model drift? So model drift means your condition, like example, just an example, okay? Condition. If your grade is greater than 60, just an example, pass, right? But let's say you're in medical school, just an example. And if your grade is 60, you're not pass, you're fail, just an example. But it has to be grade greater than 90. I'm just making up, right? Then you pass. So what is the situation? The logic which you started with was working, was okay. But after a while, logic doesn't make sense. That logic requires re-change or modification. And if you don't modify, model drift happens. So let me explain. Many of you know in United States, Social Security, right? I think ideally they were giving Social Security when you retire. Then they shifted. Retirement is 62, 63, 65, 67, 69. I don't even know when we will even ever get retirement. Why? Because they keep changing the condition. So if they keep changing condition, that's called model drift. So example, in insurance, they say, you know what, if you are bachelors, you get this percent discount. If you are married, you will have this percent discount. If you are working, you're this percent discount. But the discount condition is changing. That's called model drift. Give me thumbs up. If condition change, the reason model was designed is changed, then it's called model drift. Make sense? Do you guys agree this is going to happen and every time it's going to happen? Yes or no? So example, if my weight is, let's say, just an example, my weight is, let's say 160, I'm healthy, but then suddenly you realize that 160 is like not right. It has to be 155. Condition require change. And if I don't change it, my model is going to predict wrong result. Unfortunately, many people don't realize that this is happen as a tier and year because you use it and think environment change, data change, condition change. So your role is to retrain the model, and that's why this exercise is very complex. Just to give you an idea, retrain takes ChatGPT 6 to 9 months, not to mention millions of machines, and not to mention thousands of people. And not to mention, it will cost them approximately $100 to $250+ million just to retrain. Now ask yourself a question: can you do every day? Answer is no. You cannot do that. So we'll talk about that again. These are complex aspects, but in interview, people will ask you, and this is the 2 questions definitely they will ask. Okay, if you do not know, then we will fail because these are important reasons you need. So AWS does give you a service which will tell you that do you have data drift or you have model drift, and that indication will require now it's time for training. Okay, so we'll do that. Now all those require Python, and sorry to say, Python is not complex. It's very simple language, but there are a few things we need to understand. We'll talk about that as we go further. Like example variable, a equal to 5, no problem. If I say a equals to let's say 5, 6, 7, 8, then it's called list. It's a list. So anytime you are working in data analysis, this is called list or vector, right? Now, if your data, like the example this way, ID, name, email, right? And you can say ID is 1, name is Tom, and this is Tom email, right? abc.com, and then 2, Mike at abc.com. If I have multiple columns, then that's called data frame. Data frame. These 2 words you must understand: vector and data. Why it is important? Because if you are working in data analysis field, everything has, we call, when you say column, it's called vector, feature, or class. These are different names. Vector, feature, or class. Depend on books, depends on context people use. So like example, if my house has a space, so house space is a column, and house tax is another column. So example, house space is, let's say 1500 square feet, and this is the tax. 2000 is the tax. Another column is heating bill. Another column is water bill. Another column is other thing. So these all columns are features or classes. Now, if you combine all together, it's called data frame. Now, most of you know Excel. So if you have export the Excel, you have CSV file. And CSV file have a bunch of features. And bunch of features is nothing but bunch of classes. And bunch classes have some relationships. So if you have taken my Excel class or another class, I might have mentioned word called correlation. Correlation means, like example, I have a bunch of classes, like example, education, experience, employment, other thing, and then salary. So salary may have a relationship with maybe education, salary will have a relationship with experience, expertise. So there are cross relationships. So you need to see, do I have relationship, correlationship, and then which features has a strong relationship, which we call R square, right? When you use R square, then we say, a strong relationship that do I have linear regression? And if I have linear regression, can I start predicting? And that is what all about. So at the end of the day, what this model does, Model say, okay, I train it. So now you give new data, right? The model will take it and the model will now predict. So all things we do is just for prediction. But in order for prediction, I need data. In order for me to predict, I need data. And in order for data is coming only two forms. It can be vector, which is nothing but column, or data frame. So if I'm interested in, let's say, 2 columns, then I need to pick those columns from data frame. How to do that? That's coming from Python. Because your CSV file will allow multiple columns. So Python has a library we call pandas library, which can help you CSV file. It can read and create a data frame. And from data frame, you can pick a column 1, column 2, column 3. And then you can do predictions. If I know column 1, can I predict column 2? And that type of exercise, most of the exercise is like that. It's not a rocket science, honestly speaking. If you understand the gist is very simple. Data comes in a CSV file or JSON file. You use a library called pandas. Read that file, convert into data frame. Data frame is nothing but collections of columns. And then you find out if this column has some kind of correlation. If yes, which one has a strong relationship? Like example, this column and this columns are strong relationship. Then knowing this one, can I predict this one? And that's your model. And now you start using it. Example, if I have your all information and I figure it out that your education is driver force for your salary, then I can say, okay, I have 60 students and I have 60 students education I know and their salary I know, and I found some relationship. Then I ask, give me your education. And you give me education, I can predict your salary. That's pretty much it. One model is ready. Another model, like example, FICO score. I think we all know FICO score. So example, how much you are making, how much you're spending, is there any time you're default, anytime bankrupt, if you're owning house, blah, blah, blah. If I know 6 input, I can predict your FICO score. And how do I predict? Because I gone through thousands of training data and then I predicted and it came correct. Now I'm asking the same question and I can predict. When I predict, I will have an error, and you know how to calculate the error. RMSE, I can calculate if my root mean square error. Root mean square error, if it is high, then I need to find out, is there is a data drift? Is there is a model drift? So all things are connecting the dots. In Excel, you studied RMSE, right? Because in Excel, we were understanding how the model works. Each prediction will have error. Now, there are only few models are available. Linear regression is one of the most popular. Now, when I say linear regression, is simple 2-factor, and there are algorithms are used. Most companies use random forest, so we'll talk about today. There are other algorithms are there when you do homework, but to be honest with you, those are not difficult because process remains same. This is only one line. The algorithm is just one line to train the model. However, the process is really interesting, so make sure you pay attention and you will work without any difficulty. Sounds good? So without further delay, let's start our AWS. We can log in and get started. So first thing first, we will log in and we'll do a little bit data wrangler just for review purpose. I'll not go too much detail. It will give you like a little bit warm up. So we'll log AWS console. And please understand, every time we only use Lex user. That means, you know, Lex user means a IAM user, which has a lot of permissions. We did that. The reason AWS does not want you to use root user for such kind of exercise, because you are giving permissions and all, and you don't want to share root user. That's the main reason we created user. And I hope you all understood that every time we create this user, you give full permissions. Like example, if you are using S3, you give S3 permission. If you're giving Bedrock, give Bedrock permission. If you are doing Lex permission. So today we are going to do more permissions, and I'll create a special policies and all. I'll walk you through also. So we are using Lex user. Please understand, we are not using root user. And then let's continue. Oops, some reason my things are not working today. Are you guys getting the same error? I'm hoping you all are inside this AWS console. The first thing we'll do data wrangler just for warm up, right? So first thing, this is the service. Now, just to give idea, many times you will see the tutorial, like if you go to YouTube or anywhere, this are interchangeable use. This was the original version, and this is the new version. So what happened is whatever they were doing here, they improved here. Look and feel a little bit different, but doesn't matter. It's whatever they are supporting here, they are still supporting, but they're adding more AI capability here. So eventually this will remove, and this one will be that all the functionality of SageMaker will be part of SageMaker AI. This is the kind of new functionality. Now, many times when you read the book, sometimes books are material, sometimes they refer here, sometimes here. So don't confuse. They are identical. Look and feel might be a little bit different, but whatever works here will work here, and whatever works here will work here as well. This is a little bit improvement. So they want to go for AI studio type of thing. Everything should be in one location. So they are kind of changing, just like a Bedrock. They're changing to Agent Bedrock. They are going to remove the Bedrock, and they're going to create Agent Bedrock like this way. Check this out. They are changing this. So eventually they're going to remove this and they're going to make it here. But whatever works in Bedrock will work in Bedrock Agent Code. Okay? This is a goodie I'm going to introduce in coming classes, because this is a new services which I use now. Last time when I taught, this service was not there. It was in a preview. So we'll cover that as well. So let's start with SageMaker. So if you created last week domain, right? Many of you have created domain. Did you create a domain? If you have, so in your screen might be a little bit different than mine. What do you guys see here? You guys see?
Yeah, I see a select user profile default and a domain name number.
Yeah, so then use that. So if you can see that, my screen will be a little bit different than yours because I have a lot of things going on. But goal of the exercise, let's say I'm going to click on open, see what happened, and then we'll go through the. So here I'm opening, and I'm getting this screen.
Yeah, it says open canvas. Yeah.
I've deleted everything, so I got button get started. And
I have the same thing.
Okay. So if I go to view exist domain, I think you and me will have same thing. So I have two things: open and view exist domain. Open looks like this way, right? And if I go to view existing domain, right? In that case, you need to create a domain, right? So do you guys have this situation right now? Nothing is there.
I have to set mine up.
Okay, I have
set
my
up Amazon SageMaker.
Yeah. So I have to do the same thing. So if I go here, right now domain, I don't have any domain right now. So if I click on create domain, then your screen and my screen will be same. Am I right?
No.
No, domain will be the same, right? If you create domain, your screen and my screen will be same. And it says, you can say that Unified Studio domain. Last week we did, remember, quick setup. Where are you guys? Your screen, could you help me?
Yeah, I have
I'm
it.
in SageMaker Studio.
Sorry, my mistake. Could you repeat?
I'm in SageMaker Studio. It opened up into SageMaker Studio for me.
Yes, it means you already have set up. That's right.
Okay.
I ain't the same setting up Amazon SageMaker Unified Studio.
Yeah, just create this thing. Last week we did, right? Just create one more.
Yeah, it's in a process. It's processing now.
Okay, perfect. It may take a minute. Let's create a domain. So, sure, this one is causing me unnecessary. Let me close this thing here. So create domain. So I'll say choose VPC or create VPC. So choose VPC. Pick any VPC is fine. I'm going to pick any VPC is fine. Subnet. I'm going to pick any subnet. Right? Everything is fine. The users okay, role. So basically, I'm creating. So creating everything is brand new. I'm creating just for my domain perspective. So it will create that. create domain. It take a minute or two, still having problem. Subnet, you file at least 2 items. So it says subnet field must be at least 2 items. Not here. Let's go to test VPC. What is this field must have at least 2 items. Private subnet. I'm in Virginia. Let me go back and see. It seems like not liking my existing subnet, so I have to create it. 1 second. I do create domain one more time, and I'll say create VPC. The VPC is nothing but it's a network. So
Okay. Sorry to share. Now I got a screen with a button open and view existing domain. So I need to click on view existing domains, right?
Yes. Right now, my machine has a problem, right? Let's 1 second. I want to create this thing. For some reason, my machine has a problem right now. Already existing VPC already exists. So let's do one more. Okay, give me a second here. I want to show your screen and my screen matching. So right now it's creating. Okay, once it creates, I think our screen will match. So let's give a couple of minutes.
Do we have to create new domain?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm doing, create domain. You see that? I'm creating quick domain. So once I create a quick domain, then your screen and my screen will be matching. But when I'm creating a quick domain, I don't have existing VPC, so I just created a VPC. Once I create a VPC, now it is started creating here. So it may take a couple of minutes.
So we have to do that VPC also, set it up also, create.
No, if you're working without that, so it should be fine.
Oh.
So if you're working without that, it should be fine.
So we can go right to create domain, or should we wait for you?
Yeah, you can create a domain if you.
Okay.
Mine is right now going through this journey. Right now, creating in a process.
It says no VPC has been specifically set up
Yeah, we have to set it.
with Amazon here.
Now I hope you are able to see my screen. That's what exactly I'm doing. I'm creating a VPC.
Okay.
Right. You have to create VPC, give a name, and then follow the steps. So it will create VPC in few minutes. Give a name properly so you can use it. That's what I'm doing. My VPC is not there. So I'm creating a VPC. Once VPC is there, right? Once VPC is there, this is the VPC I'm creating. You can see. Once VPC is there, I will be able to use that VPC here because right now my VPC is not working. So I'm creating VPC. See now it got here, which is kind of good. Let's see if I have, okay, good now. So now my VPC seems like coming here. Let me see if I can go forward and create a domain. Now, why we are creating domain? Just as a FYI, domain is nothing but think about a company has a bunch of people. Company has a bunch of people. So domain allows them to work as a group. So if let's say David is creating a model, I can view his model and Irina can change the model if they are part of the same domain. Domain is nothing but work group. Just like computers are part of domain, Active Directory domain, right? Then they can share, they can review, they can collaborate. So domain allows that thing. But right now we are doing quick domain, which is only one. But in company, you can have. Now, I am getting this screen. Are you guys getting this screen, something like that?
Yeah. Just created VPC, and I don't know what was the next step after that.
That's all. Then go and create your domain. Select that VPC and create.
Oh.
I hope you are able to see my screen. I'm doing in front of you guys. I created VPC and then I used that VPC and created domain. Remember, you were getting error that VPC is not, and you just create it. Use that VPC and then you are good.
Okay.
Right? I'm sharing my screen. I hope you guys are seeing because I had the same situation. I created a VPC. Once I created a VPC, I used that new VPC And now I'm able to create domains. So I'm going to go to Open Unified Studio, right? Maher, David, Hilton, are you guys all same page, different page? Okay. First, I'll be clicking on Open. Just want to make sure we have two set up, Open and Existing. So if I click on Open, screen will be a little different than the others, but I want to make sure where you are. So this is one screen, right? This is one screen. Here, your screen and my screen may be matching. And then there is another screen, which is, I'll go back here, View Existing Domain. And if I click on View Existing Domain, this is the domain I created before I had a situation once I restarted my machine. So if I click here, right, I can open. Basically, when I open in this domain, my many team members can work. And this one is Open Unified Studio. So if I click on Open, screen will be a little bit different. The screen will be different. That's what I want you to understand. There are two different screens. Now tell me what you are seeing and where you are. Are you on same page, different page?
I'm seeing home. Yeah, at the top it says SageMaker Studio. I'm seeing home. It says
Right,
overview.
that's what I have too.
Yeah, I got two tab on my overview. I have Jupyter and Code Editor.
Yeah, so that is Jupyter is here. This is the Jupyter is here. So I'm coming to that level. But can you guys do one simple thing for me, please? Go back to SageMaker just for learning purpose. I want to make sure we will match. So go to SageMaker one more time. And out of these two buttons, click on Open one more time and see what happens. So SageMaker, Open, and see if you are able to get the same screen. Yeah, give me thumbs up if you are able to see. They are all same. Doesn't matter which way you come. Ultimately, it will be the same. I want to make sure that you and me are on the same place. Alex says yes. Good. Thank you. At least one person is there. Ali says same. Good. Let me repeat one more time. If we are coming to SageMaker, click on Open. And when you click on Open, if your screen matches this way, I came with existing domain, still my same screen. So here admin project, right? And this is the admin project. You might have different project name or admin project, it is fine. Now David and David is good.
I got a screen that says open projects, admin, and then project overview.
Yeah, so let me repeat one more time, Irina. You went to SageMaker first. Start over a little bit. Go to SageMaker. Go to SageMaker here. And in SageMaker, click on Open, this button. You see this? So go to SageMaker, first search SageMaker in case if you do not have, right? SageMaker, and then click on Open. 99% all will be on the same page. Maher, could you also confirm that you are on the same page?
Right, I'm trying to get to that open again. Yeah, I'm SageMaker AI, right? Yeah.
No, just SageMaker, sir.
Oh, just SageMaker. Okay.
Yeah, because this, let me repeat again here, SageMaker, see AWS SageMaker, right? I click on it. I'll show you here one more time. SageMaker. And as soon as you do that, you have two options now. View, right? Existing domain and open. You just click on open.
Right, I get started for some reason, that orange button. Let me just see.
You search SageMaker, right?
Right, in the upper search, and then choose just SageMaker only, not the AI one.
Correct.
I don't know why. Maybe I have to close the old page down or something.
Yeah, see, again, I think it should be same actually. See, I'm doing this. We should have same as long as your domain created. So
Right.
what happened? It picks the current domain basically by default, and you click on open. Irina, are you able to see these two options? If yes, click on open, and you will be here.
Yes, I'm already in.
Perfect. Perfect.
Same screen as yours.
Perfect. Thank you. That's what
Yeah.
I want. So anyone else have a problem? Milton, you are already here. Anyone else have a problem? Arya, you're
Yeah,
good?
I still have that. I'm just logging out of my Lex user. I'll log back in just to see.
Yeah, I was in SageMaker AI. I think that was the difference for me.
Yeah. So come back and use
Now I'm in
SageMaker.
SageMaker, and it asked me to create. So now it was setting up my SageMaker Unified Studio.
Yeah. So first time you need to create a domain, which we showed you how to create a domain. You have to create a VPC and then domain. Once you do that, go back again SageMaker and come back to open. So once you are open, its screen will be like this. Now, while you guys are doing that, I just want to make sure you understand this is where scientists works. So data scientist or you will be spending life here. This is one of the most popular things. Now, in order for us to understand, it's going to take time. We are not going to rush here. But what is this about? So this is like kind of just like a computer has an IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So anyone who knows IDE, right? Like example, you're using, and if you're using Java, you have Eclipse, right? If you're using what do you call it, .NET, you're using Visual Studio. So machine learning perspective, many people use VS Code, and Jupyter, or they are using Notebook. This is all available through web. So you're using through browser. So good news, you don't have to install a single software. Everything you can use through browser. So instantly somebody has set it up for you, instantly. Now, if you do that, like example, if you install Anaconda or something in your local machine, so you need a high-end machine. Second thing, you need to install lots of library. Second thing, when you run, again, you have trouble because whatever you do in local, it is running on your own machine, but others cannot access. So what AWS is saying that if you can get complete end-to-end machine learning environment where you can, build, learn, train, like access, test it, and deploy. Deploy in the sense of other people can start using it. So this whole journey you can do through simple browser. You don't have to install. You don't need years of experience to how to set up machine. So platform related challenge is disappearing because platform in the sense of how to create it. Though I'm teaching you how to create it, but in real life, this will be created by cloud or DevOps engineer. You will just log in and you will start using it. You don't normally create because someone, cloud or DevOps guy will do for you. However, we are doing this entire thing so we can feel like empowered, because tomorrow if you want to create your own project, your own work group, you can do that also. So this is like, first of all, simple, easy. Once you're done, you just stop certain things. I'll show you what you need to stop, and then you're good to go. Okay? At this moment, any questions?
Yeah, I'm here now. It created it and it let me open it, so I'm in the same place you're at now.
Good job, Hilton. I love that. Mahir, you need to confirm that you are also here.
Yeah, just selecting a subnet, 2 subnets. Yep.
Yeah, so I think we going forward, we'll be here. I know we lose a little bit time, but don't worry. While Mahir is coming to here, I just want to show you something which will be very helpful. Let me draw it. I'll not do data wrangler because we may run out of time today. So let me focus on Jupyter first. So what we are going to do first, we will start at Jupyter. Please pay attention. This is a 101 I'm starting. So you won't have any problem as long as you pay attention, because the reason I'm explaining this sharing screen and all, more you pay attention, less questions you will have, because you will understand. Many times what happens, we close our eye and then do it. It will be difficult. So we make sure you have a picture in our mind, because what we are getting into is more complex than we think. But what we can do, we can slowly onion layer. We are slowly opening. So it will give you more clarity. First thing first, what is Jupyter? So Jupyter, in my understanding, is simple web-based browser IDE. So those people who have installed Jupyter in local machine, you can install Jupyter in local machine. Same Jupyter you are using through browser. That allows you interactive AI. So you can create a file structure just like you create in your Windows machine. So we'll create a file structure. Please pay attention. So we'll create a file structure where your project, your folders, files, and all. Now, when you do file, you have a choice to what kind of file you want to make. So you can make a Python program and you can run Python program, or you can make Python program interactive. So you can say interactive Python program. So you can say interactive Python program. So if you do interactive Python program, means you will have a small section where you write this code and you play the button. And then right away you will see result here. Then you write code again and you can see result. So most scientists, most data analysts would like to see every line, they want to see the result. Why? Because when you're writing a program, you want to see it's working or not working. So this is very popular in data scientist world, because you can write whole Python program, but then in whole program, you write whole program and you run as a holistic. So you see final result. But if I want to know each line, is it if the sections are working correctly? Because if this section is not working, my final section will not work as well. Make sense? So initially what I'm going to teach you is interactive Python. Hello world. Please don't laugh. Hello world. Making sure you're comfortable, because many of you might not have done Python. Again, my goal is not teach you Python. We have separate Python class, which you will learn. Once you feel comfortable, then we are going to do Jupyter Lab in interactive. Can I write this program interactive, or can I write the same program in Python? Answer is yes, you can write it, but interactive will give you much more appealing. Why? Because you can see it. Most of the company use interactive. Once you are done with interactive, you can put all your code in Python and then run it.
Did the screen freeze for everyone?
This is the
Yes.
final.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me? Yeah,
The screen,
yeah,
hey, the screen was freezing for like 20 seconds.
yeah, a few seconds. It seems like we are a little bit glitch on internet, but if you are back, click on Jupyter Lab. Click on Jupyter Lab. Once you click on Jupyter Lab, you will see a new screen will show up. Right, like this. Give me thumbs up if you are able to see this thing. Okay. Please give me being interactive. Tell me more. So I don't want you to left behind, please. Because now if you are not giving me feedback, unfortunately, you will not be able to do lab, because this is our starting point, right? So now when we do Jupyter, what happened? It's create a machine, EC2 machine. And this whole thing, you can see the IDE automatically selected and it started a machine for me. Now, some of you will have two options, right? Again, you may not see any of this. Don't worry about it, because I'm practicing, as I said before. I do practice. You can see that. A lot of practice I'm doing, but you may not see any of this, but you will have two buttons, right? And in button wise, it is basically saying that I'm going to start a machine, right? I'm going to start a machine, and then it will start a. What you are seeing in your screen, Ali? What you
seeing the notebook and the
Mine is still loading. It's still loading right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look.
connecting to space.
Yeah, connect. Yeah, click on connecting to space. It may take a minute, and it will connect. Once it connects, let me know. Ultimately, you will see something like this, a Jupyter logo here, and this is the menu you will see, right? And here you will not have anything, most likely, but you will still see this thing.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Okay. Right? Don't cry about this file. Please don't worry about that. This part is, I'll explain. Don't worry. Now, while you're here, please understand, this is the space. So space is created by specific setup. So if I click on configure space, just click on it for learning purpose. So if you click on configure space, that shows that this is the machine, actually machine in a cloud. That machine has setup, which is called, this is the machine type. It's large, big, small machine. This has the storage. So machine has this storage, and machine comes with a Docker image. So those who are DevOps, they know Docker. So it comes from Docker pre-installed software. Okay. Now, if you want to change that machine, you can. If you're working hard, you can do that like that, but it's going to cost you more money. This one is kind of easy, right? No big deal. But when you are working a large thing, you may want to change the machine. Again, we are not just explaining. Okay. Now, before we end today's class, you guys need to remind me that when we close our class, we will come here and we will call stop space. If not, then they will start charging to the machine. Give me thumbs up if you're clear, right? Because if you don't tell me this, then I may forget, and of course you may forget, and then you will get quite a good bill because this machine will be running. This is a Docker image. If somebody asks an interview, like, hey, how Jupyter works in that? So this is Docker image. You're using Docker image through this browser. And this is a pre-made image, which has most of the machine learning libraries, and you can install. It will just works. Let me repeat. It will just works. Okay. Now.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I still getting that. I can't get that open button to show up, even though I created a domain.
Yeah,
I just see opening SageMaker Unified Studio get started.
Yeah, click that. That's the same thing. I click Open Studio, Unified Studio, and I came to the same place.
Then it says set up Amazon SageMaker Unified Studio. Just click setup.
Whatever it is, now you need to come inside somehow because it will take you here only.
Okay.
You are the only one having this issue, right? No one else has this issue.
Somehow that open button isn't showing up initially.
Yeah, I just click setup and then.
Oh, you click setup? Okay.
Yeah,
continue setup.
I did the same thing.
It's still running, connecting to space for me.
It will take 2 minutes. It will take 2-3 minutes because you're starting a machine. Whole machine, yeah, you're starting. It will take a couple of minutes. So this is all, AWS is internally doing. Some of you will get instantly, some of you take time. It depends on first come, first serve type of thing. And depend on yeah. Once it's set up, I think you need to do open and it should work. Once you are ready, I'm just explaining while you are coming in, but make sure you come inside because here is the main magic will happen. Okay. Again, I'm not coding anything. Make sure you see the screen. Make sure you follow your screen. Your screen will be different than mine. Until you come, you have work to do.
Okay, my screen is now looks on the right. It says notebook Python 3 console Python 3 terminal with Q. Which one should I pick?
There should be Jupyter, first one, I believe. Jupyter.
Notebook console and shared notebook console terminal library management text file.
Ali say Jupyter. There should be a Jupyter. Just click on Jupyter and notebook. There will be a Jupyter notebook, something like that. First one. There will be a lot more things. Just click on the first one.
My first one is Python IP kernel.
Select
now.
Just select that.
Okay.
Yeah, first one. By default, select first one. You will come eventually here. Yeah.
And it gave me a prompt line, local Python compute.
I'm not sure what you are seeing, but eventually.
At the top of your screen has configure space. That's where he's at now, where you see the screen, where you saw where he was showing the EC2 instance. At the very end, green at the top. I'm not sure if you see Irene.
I have this screen too, and first thing what I got there, it's untitled .ipynb.
You're already in. You're unnecessarily confused. You're already in. Why you're worried about? Don't worry. You are all in. Don't worry about all those things. Are you able to see this menu? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Are you able to see this logo Jupyter?
Yes.
Then why are you worried? You're all in. You're all in. You're all in. As long as you see this menu and Jupyter icon, you're all in. Nothing wrong in that. You're perfect. So you should be very happy. Now you're in. I have not started, and this is all I have done left for you. I'm going to walk you through. This is going to take me 2-3 hours to explain. So don't worry about it.
I'm in now.
Yeah, perfect. So right now, this is which will be helping you become an AI developer. So if you are applying for a job, this is where AI developer starts. Okay. So AI developer, what does that mean? AI means AI, right? Artificial intelligence. Developer means now you're using Python. You're developing your own situation. So let's get started. Don't worry about anything as long as you're Jupyter here, right? Then you're with me. So now, just a little bit overview. This Jupyter does allow you to connect to the database. You can also connect to the Git if you have a version management system. So you can connect to the Git. You can do that part. This is the beautiful part. You may love it. This is called Amazon Q. This is my life, if you ask me. Those who do not know programming background, and if you want to be a super duper AI developer, this is the life. This is a secret sauce, which makes me more productive. Because here I use prompt, and using prompt, I write 90% of my code here. So those which used to take months, now it is taking minutes. Let me repeat, those used to take months, it takes minutes. I have seen many smart people who doesn't do smart job. So example, I had a couple of BA students in my special work environment. They have no programming background, but they are very smart. They attend such kind of training. Then they use this Q, and the BA now become a significant AI developer, and then they transform. Some of their salary used to be 100, now they're around 200 to 300. The only difference is they know how to use tool right. I always tell people, smart people know how smart thing does. This is the smartness. You will love it. I'll explain as we go further. You do not need to be an extraordinary programmer. My daughter, she is working on programming, and she used to get tired. I said, why you get tired? I said, man, programming, weeks and months and all. I taught her a little bit. I just told her. And she said, Dad, now my whole 7 days a week, I can do in 7 to 10 hours. And she's super happy. She said, programming is no longer fear anymore. Why? This is called AI-driven ID, Amazon Q. Amazon Q. I'm using word, so please don't miss this thing. Again, if you repeat again and again, we cannot move forward. But make sure you understand this Amazon Q is built in the IDE. I'll show you how to use it. As we go next couple of weeks, do not come late. Many of you don't even know what they're doing, but you don't come late because we have to do a lot of work. We will be using Amazon Q next 4 or 5 weeks. Why? Because I know many of you do not have programming background. Amazon Q will help us leveraging AI, write a code where we can do everything. What we are doing right now, we are doing manually. But if I'm in real life, I don't do manual. I will use Amazon Q to do this work. But if I do that, I don't teach you, right? In that case, you become like a AI dependent. But I want to teach you the process so you can be comfortable. So sometimes in interview, people ask, what is your secret of success? Then you can say, I'm using Amazon Q. What is Amazon Q? It's AI driven. So you write a prompt, it will write code for you. And I'll also teach you another tool in coming days, which is called Kiro. Now, this may be foreign word to you, but I'll teach you. Trust me, this is something I didn't teach last time when I taught. I hope Motoshi have joined. Again, I'm telling her, remember, smart people do smart things. This knowing Kiro, you can do 10 people work as a single person. And you don't need to know everything. Now, people say, what that mean? So now think about, I'm a BA. As a business analyst, so I can collect requirement. Kiro can do the requirement gathering. Just writing one line, it creates a requirement gathering. It does web development. It does QA. It does development. It does architecture. It does deployment. And it does testing. And it does everything. It means as you go in the real world, people will ask, do you know business analyst? Do you know QA? You just say, yes, I'm using Kiro. Kiro does everything. So I'll teach you. Again, remember, you have a lot of knowledge, like example, database, Agile, Scrum, and all that gets you opportunity. But when you go in a real world, use this tool, Amazon Q or Kiro. I'll show you how to use it. But right now, I'm not. But I just want to make sure you don't miss out. This is a huge value here. This itself is a game changer. And this is, again, newer concept, which we will cover that. Okay. Now, if you are all here, we can go to File. We can say New. And you can see there are many options available. So you can see File, New, like that. Now, those who are like, program oriented, like you are writing Python and all, you can have a lot of activities here, right? So you can see console applications. You can say notebook. So I'm going to do notebook. So let's do File. So I say File, New, and Notebook. So when I do Notebook, it will be like this. And it will ask me what kernel you want to use. Again, ideally they use Python, which is fully loaded, but you have option to select other if you want to. Again, in your company, if they have given Docker images, you can select, but we'll select Python kernel. At this moment, we selected and we just click on select. So far, so good. Can I count everyone is doing? You already might have unit untitled open. If it is there, don't worry about it. Use that one, or you can create a new one. It's free. There is no additional cost. Think about this is a blank file. So we're going to click on select. Now magic will start. So now we are here. If you're here, congratulations. This is the starting point. Okay, so thank you. It took a long time. Sorry for that. But now we can cruise along. The little bit overview about this story. You will love it. I love it because the reason I love it because I like to do baby steps. Anytime I like to do baby steps. And trust me, most of the things baby step will work. So this one is each is a step. You click on this play button to run. And when you run, you get the result right away. And you will have another steps. Then you click here, click on the box. So this is called cell or box. You click on it and then you play. So if I have multiple cells, right, I can see previous cell independently and I can see. So if I click here, I can play only that cell. But if I click here, I can play that. And if I want to play all, I can do that also. Again, there is no point to do all. Once you complete it, then we convert that thing. The goal of the exercise, we want to learn. This is called R&D experiment. Experiment means you want to learn. Is working, not working. Because until you learn, you can't do a program. Once you learn it, then we convert all steps in a Python program, and then we'll run a single shot. Make sense? So now let's get started. So we are here. I'm going to say print, and in parentheses, double quotation, hello world. Double quotation complete. And if I click on this, play, so you can see hello world. Give me thumbs up if you're able to do that. So just write print and click on this, and you will see hello world. The one means you completed one step. Right? If you see star here, please remember that if you see star here, it means your step is in process. Some of your steps will take days, some of you will take hours, some of your steps will take minutes. So remember the star. Star means it's working, but not completed yet. Sometimes you may need to stop it. So if you want to stop, this rectangle block is small, rect square is the for blocking. So if you are like taking long time, like hour, and if you want to stop it, you can do that. Problem will happen. Let me repeat. As you get star, and star takes, let's say, month means hour, you have to stop it. Why? Because something wrong. In that case, you need to go to CloudWatch and see what's going on. You have to see the analysis. That's why Cloud Skill will be handy. I'll help you how to analyze. Because the one work we are doing, that normally get lots of error. Because this cycle which you are doing here, the reason people pay 200 plus 1,000, because it's not easy for anyone to understand this. Because I do this thing more often, so I know how to troubleshoot. But most people are doing this and they get stuck, have no idea. So they're stuck. And then there's no way you can figure it out until you know CloudWatch. You have to do debug, log, understand, ChatGPT, a lot of things you need to do in order to go to step 1, to step 2, to step 3, step 4, because these are steps you have to follow. Until you do final step, which is called deploy, you're not done yet. My goal is to try to do deploy today if we can. If not, we'll do next week as well. Okay. So now we are here. Let's do another program. So let's example variable x equal to 5. Right? I press enter and y equals to 10. X equal to 5, y equal to 10. So these are variable. X and y is variable. Now I'm saying z equals to, I'm just giving you warm up x plus y, and I'm printing g. So you can see here, I have different variable x, y, and z. So z equal to x plus y. Of course, it's anybody can understand. You are now doing addition. So 5 plus 10 will be 15. So I should expect 15. So click here and play. So 15. Give me thumbs up if you're able to do it. Good. Basic Python skill is good enough. There is no extraordinary skill required. Of course, as you go further, you will learn a lot. Now, I'm going to create a function. So in Python, the function is written by def. So anytime you see def, def definition, and then you write a function name. So like example, I'm doing function name add. And in add, if I say x comma y, right, and then colon. And when I do colon, it has required alignment. And then in alignment, I can do x plus y. So I can say z equal to x plus y. X plus y means I'm adding it, and then I return z. Return z means I'm going to give back answer back. Here I'm printing the answer, but I'm going to give answer back to person who is calling add. So like example, if I call add 3 comma 5, if I call add 3 comma 5, then 3 will come here, 5 will come here. So 3 plus 5, and then it will say 3 plus 5, 8. Z will be back 8. So it will give it 8 back here. Yes, Alex, question?
No, sorry, just click a wrong button, but I'm on the same place. All good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So let's write a function. In Python, function is very important. So please understand function, you start with def lowercase, make sure always lowercase. Then write a function name. So let's say I do add comma x comma y. X comma y. Then colon, and then I'll say z equals to x plus y and return z. Okay. So what does this means? Please pay attention. This is my function. So what does that mean? So if I say add, please understand, if I say add 3 comma 5, please pay attention. So 3 will be going to the first one, which is x, and 5 will be going to the y. 3 plus 5 will be 8, z will be 8, it will return 8 for me. So this is the function. When you do machine learning will have a function. One of the functions will be train machine, one will be explore machine, one will be like deploy machine. So lots of functions you will be using. Again, I cannot teach a lot of things, but anytime you say dev, think about a small function, small program, which has a specific purpose. Here, my input is x and y. I take x and y and I add and give z and return z. So right now I'm going to run it. So my function will be created. If I get an error, I will know right away. So check it out. I click here. See, I'm right now. This arrow shows me I'm in this cell. If I click here, it will run. Nothing will come because function is just created and there is no error. Now I'm going to call function. So when I call function, I can say I want to print, and then I in parentheses I'll say I want to do add, let's say 100 comma 200. Please pay attention. And then I also want to print. So you can see here, and I close parentheses. Again, I'm doing a space just for you to understand there is a parent. Print has its own, and add, which is this one, and x and y, which is this will become x and this will become y. So x and y, now 100 and 200, 100 plus 200, 300. So now z will be 300. So this print statement will print 300. If I click here and run it, I should expect 300. Give me thumbs up if you're able to get this thing. If you have a question, please ask. Make sense? Please give me interaction, thumbs up and all. Remember, if you're taking this class, this is very important for you to have some understanding about how Python function works. Because 90% work which you are going to do will be function. Because either you read the data, which is called input function. If you train them, model function or train function. If you are doing some kind of optimization or test function. If you are doing deploy functions. If you are doing validation, the validation function. Why? Because modularization will allow us to do better control. Now
I have a question. Quick question. So is there a difference when I'm calling the function just using the add and plugging in, or is it standard for me to use the print, or I could just call the function just using add also, right?
You can do that, but because I want to print the result, whatever I get, right? What I get z, I'm going to print it, right? I want to print it. That's why I'm using print statement.
Okay.
So here, see here again, I'm calling add 5 comma 9. So this will be x and this will be y. So I got 14. If I just call here like a function, I can call here, like example, I can say let's example 10 comma 20, right? And if I click here, I get the answer here as well. But the real technique is print. If you want to print something, you use print. Okay. You can also call the function as long as function exists. Okay. And then you're passing to input. You can do that also, but always use print because you're printing.
Okay, thank you.
At this moment, you guys are well prepared. Do you guys agree? So now we are going through our forum. I want to congratulate all of you for basic Python 101. Okay, now we'll go to our forum. We are going to do machine learning. So let's go back to our Google class. And in Google class, we have PowerPoint. And in PowerPoint, we have forum. We'll jump into the forum. So first thing first, again, we are going very, very basic thing. Okay, don't assume that I'm going extremely fast. I have not even started today's topic. This is all kind of pre-work, making sure you at least understand where we are. Then we can do the lab, right? So we are here, classwork, and our official thing, we will be starting with the PowerPoint. So we have 2 left to do. PowerPoint will be simple, and then we'll do end-to-end lab. So today is here. So this is the PowerPoint, and if you can click on the first one, Jupyter one, and it will take you to the code forum. And give me thumbs up if you're here. Yeah, perfect. Now, just as an FYI, we talk about Jupyter is very simple. It's a notebook. It's a studio. You can do a lot of development. It's a simple. It's automatically installed. There's a scalable. You can collaborate with other team members. It's an entire experiment you can do in simple browser. It does have a lots of machine learning library. Just to give idea, these are very, very advanced. We will mostly spend time here because these are simple. But if you want to do like kind of train the model, you mostly use TensorFlow or PyTorch. But this one is easy. This is more regression perspective, so we'll follow here. But instead of this library, if you want to touch this library, there are some labs available, which I added in the homework also. You can also connect with the Git. The Git is nothing but if you want to share the code with your team member, if you want to maintain the code, or if you want to do version management, you use Git also. So those who are DevOps students, you are also going to learn. You can also debug. You can debug your code, which we'll talk about it. Security perspective, we do VPC. So when you started, you remember you create a VPC subnet and all. Common use case, like model-driven development, right? You can explore, automate AI, ML, distribute training, all those things, or you can share among your team member also. So you can find a lot of exploratory testing or some data-driven testing. So last week, if you remember, if you want to know churn in your customer base, or if you want to know some kind of cancer analysis or traffic analysis or accident analysis, this is very analysis perspective. First is analysis, and then you create a model, and then you predict what will happen. So first is the analysis. So right now, these few labs are more about analysis. Even though analysis, we are using machine learning library. We'll go one at a time. Make sure you pay attention because these are pre-made code. I made it for you, but trust me, it took me time to create the lab. However, you're getting like a essence. So make sure you understand. You don't need to know in and out because majority things you will be able to get through the Amazon Q or Kiro. Amazon Q or Kiro can do for you, or ChatGPT can do for you. You need to understand the overall mechanics, how mechanics works. We don't write line by line. Nowadays, no one writes line by line. We use machine learning to create the program, and then we tweak the program. So we only write 10% code now. 90% code is written by machine, like we call ChatGPT or Amazon Q or Kiro. They call white label. White label means you ask and you generate the code, and that code is no one has written it. Machine writes for you. So we'll do that part. This one, simplify a machine learning flow, end to end you can do. And you don't need to have more knowledge. You can do everything. You don't need to focus on DevOps. You don't have to worry about security. You are using entire things, productivity and scalability. AWS will help you. So right now, these are main algorithms we want to learn: regression, classifications, and cluster. These are all very high-end. Just one-liner. Regression is extremely powerful for prediction. So if you want to predict something, regression. It used to be considered as a data science, but because we are now using those advanced library, a common person can do that. So if you want to predict, regression is the way to do. Classification means you can group A versus B. So example, good versus bad, house owner versus renter, working versus non-working, man versus woman, right? The person who like versus not like, smoker versus no smoker. So if you want to do like just two grouping, then classification happen. Classification normally happen through we call unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning means machine does not have a training data. Normally, this is not used often, But if it is a simple use case, like example, I get an email, good email and bad email. So if I want to call spam email, just machine will automatically filter out, and good email will go to your inbox and spam email will go to spam. Now, sometimes machine make mistakes. This one has more error. Why? Because machine is not trained, but eventually it get trained. Clustering, where you in clustering, you kind of train the model. You say, you know what, if a person is making less than 60, it's a fail. So F grade. A person is 60 to 70, person is making D grade. So you are the one who is training the machine first, and then you create a cluster. So we'll do all this lab. These are pre-made lab, means I made it for you. Just to give you concept. Again, no one in interview will ask you to write a code. They will ask you the purpose, a use case. So clustering. Clustering means, like example, who use and where they use. Netflix use clustering for identifying you like A, B, C movie, then you may like D movie, because they cluster how many people watch A, B, and C, and which movie they see next. So whole Netflix is clustering algorithm. Now, sometimes if you are driving car and your car has an indicator, you need a maintenance. How the heck they know that my car needs maintenance? That's a clustering algorithm. If your car is Toyota, make is 2023, and your Camry, Toyota 23 Camry, 100,000, you need this maintenance. So they see all car for the same model, same year, and same time. If they've gone through what you call repair, you need to go for repair. There is no wrong or right. They just create a clustering. So example, if you have 5 friends, if they have similar habit, whatever they're going to do it, we can predict now what you're going to do next. Why? Because it's a clustering. Regression, you know A and you want to predict B. So this is one of the easy algorithm we often use in our real life. Again, with practicality, we'll do all those things will be Python only. So let's go down. So regression, again, I'm not going to go detail because we have covered in our data analysis class and all. So we are going to learn step by step. So what will happen? Please pay attention step by step. So this exclamation is nothing but we call install. Listen carefully. Exclamation, nothing but install. So we are saying, hey, install. Q means you're questioning query. If it is not there, install pandas library. What is pandas library? So remember we talk about vector. So if you have vector or if you have multiple vectors, then you use pandas. Panda library allows you to read CSV file, Excel file, JSON file, and it can separate it out vectors. You can do a lot of activity with pandas. In your interview, people will ask you which library did you use. Pandas library is one of the best library for data analysis, so you use that. The second library we use is Matplot for graphs. So if you want to do graphs and all, we do that. Seaborn also have a pretty good graph, but these are scientific graph if you want to do. And we talk about scikit. Scikit allows us for regression. So for any regression or machine learning, you can use it PyTorch or Scikit. Scikit easy to do. PyTorch and all takes time, and I can't teach in a classroom because it takes sometimes hours and we cannot finish. But in case if you want to do that, you can do that. You can see here Scikit has random forest classifier. Remember this word random forest. That is one we are mostly often using for regression aspect. Again, you don't have to remember in and out. This is all generated through AI, and I'll show you how to generate that also. Okay. So right now, let's say I pick this line. Okay, check it out. You also do that. Please copy this line, and then go to your studio where you were coding, and just paste this line. Make sure one at a time. You paste this line and you run. Make sure you run it. You can run by Shift Enter. Like if you hold Shift Enter, it does run. So if you do Shift Enter, it runs automatically, or you can play button, whichever works for you. So you can click here and you can click play button, or you can click here and do Shift Enter. It will not do anything, but it does install.
My screen disappeared.
Sorry?
My screen disappeared somehow.
So,
I don't know what happened. Amazon SageMaker, all of a sudden, the screen that you type in right now, it just went black. That's it.
I had the same problem.
Oh,
You have
yeah,
to go out and go back in.
Yeah, just refresh or go out, go back in. Yeah.
Okay. So you can click on that and it will install for you, right? You can refresh if you have problem, right?
And now it's connecting to space again, right? I don't know.
It does maintain, and you can keep saying like file, save all. Previous thing doesn't matter. This is the first line, so don't worry about it. You can just keep saying save all. So if you ask override, so please understand, in case previous thing was just learning, this is the first thing for the lab. So if you do that, you click here and either you play button or you just do shift enter. And if you want to keep saving, just do file save all, you can do that also. Okay, moving along. Now you're here, we'll do one lab and then we'll take a break. Now here, these are called imports. So we are using these programs for your lab. Again, every program will have lots of library. Now you may say, well, how do I know that? So just think about that. You're making a lasagna. So if you're making a lasagna, raw materials you know based on the recipe. Every lab will have raw material. Now, as I said before, this takes actually a months or hours or weeks, but I made it for you. I did a whole heavy lifting work for you. But as you do homework, you may come to know I need this line, I may need this line. The best example to get this thing is the ChatGPT or Amazon Q or Kiro. Remember, I mentioned that months of work you can do in minutes because it used to take time, figure it out what I need. Now, ChatGPT can help you. I'll show you how to get that thing. But right now, I want you to understand this is, I did it for you. That's why it's simple. But if you write this thing, it's going to take a weeks of time because you don't know which raw material needed, right? Again, that's the reason people pay you significant money. 200,000 is not a small money. The reason they pay you because you know a lot more things and you become productive. If you don't know, it's going to take long time. Makes sense or not? So it's very important. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to copy this thing, Control C. Make sure you follow along and paste it every line without forget. You need to make sure, see, you paste it, it did not have number. So if it doesn't have number, means it did not execute it. So either you do shift enter or play it. Make sure you run it. So as you see, can see that right now, when you run it, for a few seconds, you will see star. It means it's running. And then you get number. It means it's executed. Yeah. So far, we have established the precondition. We install the software, we install the library. Now the real meat comes here. So now I want you to pay attention. We are doing one use case. There are many use cases we have. So use case number 1, please pay attention. We are doing house price prediction and we are using algorithm called linear regression. So linear regression algorithm is nothing but X, you know X and you need to know Y. So this is coming from data. I found the data. So this is the Boston house. There's a data. Again, please pay attention. Next 5-10 minutes, don't lose me. Make sure 100% attention because 5 minutes will give you 5 months of experience right there, right? So you can understand this is the file. So this is the data. Now somebody asked me to analyze this data and tell me the house price. Okay, how am I going to do? So this is the data. Now I'm saying, hey, Panda is the library. I'm saying Panda library, read this URL and create a data frame. So what is data frame? It's going to create Excel type of things in memory with column. So whatever the file we have, which is the CSV, it convert into data frame in memory. So each column, it will have a column. Now we are saying, hey, go and delete this column, drop. So there is a column called this, drop it. So it drops them and rest of the column. So there is one column, it drops it and rest of the column, it says that this is going to be X now. So it picks one column, sorry, my mistake. It picks one column. So let's see here. So here, see here, you are using drop, right? So you're dropping this column. So see in this one, there should be a column called mdev somewhere. So you can see this is the column mdev. So it is taking that and it is dropping that column. And rest of the things it is saying X. Make sense? So you are doing X here. Now it says that you got the X. Now you're saying the last column which you drop, which will be Y. So if you remember, we talk about prediction. One, X is a driver and Y is a dependent. Y is the dependent, which is we want to predict. So we got X and Y from existing data. Please pay attention, existing data. So this is your overall data. Now from this data, we're going to create a two group. So we call training group. So one group is a training and one group is a test group. So if you see, there are two aspects here. So this is the overall data. Please pay attention. And from that, we are saying training data and test data. So how do we group it? So we are saying here 20% data from here, we're going to select as a test data, which is a test data, which is used for validation. And rest of the data we will use for training the model. Make sense? Now you can, why 20? Can I do 40? Yeah, it's your choice. Then we are using random state 42. So random state 42 allows me and you to be on the same page. If I don't use this, pick any number I can use. I don't have to use 42. I can use any number. But if I use number, it's called seed. It means when I do randomization, I start with the same seed. So you and me have the same result. If I have a different number, the result will be different. Again, these are part of the split. So it's going to split that and get you the result. So we are randomly selecting, please pay attention, we're going to randomly select training data, 20%, sorry, test data, 20%, and 80% data will be training. We are not selecting first data is training, and last data is testing. We are selecting randomly. Make sense? Questions so far in this line? All clear? Give me thumbs up. Okay. You always going to do this thing. Trust me, this is going to be a boilerplate code. You always will have data. Do you guys agree or not? And you always going to slice training data and test data. So this is not going to be a new thing for you. Today, you're going to do 5-10 times. In a real life, you're going to do hundreds of times because model always need two things. First, training and test. Training and test data will help you model accuracy. So we'll talk about. Now, we are saying, let's do linear regression. So we are doing LR. And we say use training data, which I generated from this tab. So this tab has a training data X, and this tab has a training data Y. Use it and now generate the model. So this will create a model. So now model is created. Now once your model, we use this model and now predict. What you're going to predict? Use X and predict Y. And once you predict Y, generate RMSE. Generate RMSE and tell me what the error I have. If error is large, then my prediction is bad. Make sense? Huh? If RMSE is lower, my prediction is pretty good. And then we can say visually, let's present how it looks. If it is a 45 angle, if it is a 45 angle, then most likely my prediction is right. But if it is like this, then my prediction is kind of will have error. Or if it is like this, error. So we are trying to understand. In this exercise, if our friend, remember, Mahir started early morning, hey, how do I train? If, listen carefully, I'm answering Mahir's question. How do I train? If Mahir did that and RMSE came, let's say 100, just an example. And he said, oh my God, that error is pretty good, pretty big. I don't like it. So he has to now use different data. He can't use this data. He used different data and try. His goal is to bring error lowest possible. So in that case, he has no choice. He has to change his sample data. And then he has to rerun the train. As he can has, let's say, example, he did experiment. He went to airport or here we have Boston. He collect the data from Boston, try, error was large. He said, guys, go and get data again, but different houses. He got the data, again try. That's called experiment. So he tried 6 times. And then one time he got error 1. Then he said, this is perfect. This is the perfect. So that data, he thinks as a good to train the data. And using that data, when he predict, accuracy will be pretty high. So ask yourself a question. Do you think Mahir will get the perfect data in a first experiment, or he has to go through multiple experiments? What do you guys think?
Multiple.
This takes months. How long it takes? Months. It's not like a cookie cutter. Just to give you an idea, ChatGPT spends 6 months to train the model, and not one person, thousands of people work. Then it happens. So this is because we are doing simple lab, we don't understand the complexity of that. So complexity, he has to go through many things, and everything is called experiment. Make sense? He doesn't know which is going to work. Only way he will know is RMSE. Then he will start predicting. So when he predicts, let's example, he predicts with one value, and answer is that. And then he wait for that actual and see is this actual is correct. Then again he predict. So every time he predict and see the actual, if it's coming closer, then he will have confidence. Once he have confidence, then he deploy the model. Until he has confidence, he will not do. So this is called experiment. And when he does experiment, this is called supervised learning, because he is the one who's making decision. The model is trained or not, model is predicting or not, model required retrain or not. He is experienced. He is the one supervisor. He's doing this experiment to make the model, what do you call, stronger. Model is more reliable. Until he will make a lot of money. You know why? because he's going to kill X number of human error, Y number of human process. As company will be super duper. That's why this person is called researcher or scientist. Now, I'm not saying he become like that, but these people are highly paid. Why? Because one person can kill hundreds of people's job, and from months to second, months of effort to second. Why? Because think about, if I'm a realtor or if I'm a house purchaser or seller, I always will have a question: what would be my house price, or what price I should buy house? Do you agree or not? Every realtor should know. So if I give you precise answer, wouldn't I pay you monthly subscription? And now he will have subscription model. You start, hey, take a subscription, enter your data, I'll give you precise answer. Now he start making money. Every person, let's say he charges per month $100, they get accuracy. Suddenly have 1 million user, $100 million business. One model, 100. Why he not make 200,000? It's kind of drop in the ocean. This is the world we are getting into. Of course, there are huge opportunity, but we need to find out what model is business need. And there are tremendous models, right? Example, you all are driving car and you use GPS, yes or no? Same concept. Point A to point B. What is that? Prediction, ETA, estimate time to arrival. Why you are using Google? Why you are not using others? Because Google has accuracy. So now those who are using Google today is maybe Google free, but Google say, you know what? Per month $1. Would you not pay that? Google will make billions of dollars. I guarantee that today or tomorrow, Google will charge you. Why? Same thing. Think about Uber. As soon as you put it, Uber will say the driver will be coming in 5 minutes. What is that? That's the same algorithm. What they do is they see when people call from this location and driver comes, what time it takes based on current traffic. So prediction. Once model is tested, people use it. So at this moment, you are now doing, now this one is just for visual aspect. So we can see how it will look. So let's copy this thing. Copy this up to this and see we can run this thing. So if I go here, then I'm going to paste it here. Please understand, same concept, I'm not changing. It took me time to do these things, so don't take it lighter. I have to do thorough. I'm kind of clean sugar for you, right? Complete like spoon, sugar. I did data, getting time. So what I have done is, you can see the comment is there. So you can understand load data, split data, train regression, predict and evaluate. So here the prediction is happening. RMSE will give me the error print statement. Remember, I prepare you every time. This will visualize the graph. Scatter graph is nothing but X versus Y graph, which you studied in grade 2 or grade 3. Remember X and Y, like this graph. Every X you kind of do Y and then you try to. So that's what we are trying to do. Now you paste it here and click on play and ta-da! Give me thumbs up if you are able to see this thing. RMSE 4.9. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I did have a general question.
Mhm.
I know you were mentioning that as you're trying to retrain the model, you plug in values
Mhm.
to see if to predict, to see if the prediction is getting closer to 1.
Mhm.
Are there like maybe not in this class, but are there at least techniques to zero in on a certain area of the data that is causing it to be off?
Yeah, there are many techniques. So one of the techniques, I think in Excel we studied, right? Correlation, right? Let's say you get this data, right? You got many factors, right? Many columns, and then you want to predict. You want to predict this factor, right? So you need to ask question: is this factor? Last class also we mentioned it. If I change this factor, will there be impact? If I change this factor, will there be impact? If I change this factor, there will be impact. If I change this, no impact, remove this. Or
Okay, in
change this
Excel.
factor, right? Not only in Excel, but in last class, if you remember, we were doing prediction through Canvas. And we were saying which factor is impacting, right? That's what the Explorer,
Right.
Second thing, there might be an outlier. Remember, we talked about outlier. So you have to remove the outlier. So more good data you have, more prediction. So this one has error, which is kind of lighter. So you can see here right now your error, sorry, my mistake. you're kind of able to draw a straight line most of the time. But this one is your outlier. So you may want to remove this thing and then retrain model one more time, right? Why you have to? This is your outlier because that may create an error. If you remove that, your error will go down. So you're brushing the data, you're cleaning the data wrangler comes in picture, right? You can say, hey, if this data is there, remove maybe aged data has old data. Maybe you can have condition. Hey, this is upper limit, this is lower limit, remove that. Like example, if I ask you in this class, will anybody have 100 plus age? Answer is no. But let's say somebody, instead of writing, let's say 60, somebody wrote 100. That's called error. So data will not say, you need to figure out 100 is not the right number, remove that. So this way, you have to brush that. That takes time. That's why data wrangler, Canvas, Excel will be helpful for cleaning the data. Here we are assuming you did that part. That's why data wrangler and Canvas is more for cleaning the data. Once your data is clean, of course, your error will go down.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay. So right now, I think it's a perfect time to take a break because I think we have machine running. Let it run, no worries. We will be back after break. We have a lot to cover, so don't disappear. We want to cover that. And just to mention, at 1 p.m. we are starting prompt engineering class. So those who want to retain or repeat, feel free. 1 p.m. in case if you have not received the link, talk to Harish. 1 o'clock we will start a prompt engineering. Again, always repeat because every time I teach differently, it will be helpful. So let's take a 10 minutes break and we'll be back. Okay, we are doing well, cruising very well.
Do a save all. Thanks.
Guys, I'm hoping you all enjoy. This exercise shows that how it works. So if you see the slicing in the sense of steps, almost steps will remain in all exercises. You will have data. You have to slice training versus test data. Then you have to create a model. Then you have to do prediction. Then you have to validate. What we have not done here is called deploy. That's difficult part. Deploy is difficult part. And I'm going to walk you through if time permits today. Otherwise, I'll do next week. I have a detailed lab. That's complex lab. I did this thing for Moto C. I hope C will listen because this lab is complex. It took me a long time. Trust me, whole week I was working for her because in our work, deployment is done by other group. But I thought, no, I want to help her because you will learn end to end. This one you will do most of the time in your real life. Up to this, once you are done, you will give your steps to deploy to DevOps team. So DevOps team normally do deployment. So that's why I always tell people DevOps teams should know agentic AI because if they don't know, then they will not appreciate how to deploy because they will always ask basic questions. They will not know what is Python, what's library. There's a lot of error you may have. Again, I gone through a lot of bumpy ride to deploy. Good news, I was able to deploy and I do have steps. Okay, moving along. Now, second one, and you will not now surprise because majority things you know. Because we are using same notebook, the previous step which you install, it's still there. So remember we install library by using exclamation, it stays there, pandas and all. And then we use import statement, it's still there, but these are additional steps. So if you have not done, these are additional steps. If you're already done, if you repeat that, not a problem. So here we are using Panda. This is our, I would say, important library. We also use, scikit-learn, which is our library for most of the regression. So whenever we use regression, we normally use it. This part, I don't think you will cry. Only the data is changed now. I want to predict MPG, which you all know. I use use cases so everyone can understand. There are hundreds of use cases, but I thought you can visualize, right? Everyone knows car, so visualize. This step, you are loading data. Now, this step, you are removing missing data. So you can clean data, massage data, and all through Python programming. So if you remember, we were doing data wrangler, right? In data wrangler, we were adding step. And after step, you can export. And when you export, there was options to export as a Jupyter or Python. So when you do that, all the visual you do, that's what I was planning to show, but we ran out of time. But whatever you step you do in data wrangler, at the last step, you do export. And when you export, that step you can export in a Jupyter, and this will be written for you. Make sense? Because data wrangler will have data set, which is this one. So it will write code for you. So many times you don't have to write code. You use Jupyter, you use SageMaker, Data Wrangler, get the data, clean the data, apply the steps and all, and then bring it. So you can clean. NA means if any missing data, just remove that. Next, we are saying, hey, we want to predict MPG. So the DF is nothing but data frame, which is nothing but bunch of column. From there, we want one column, which is MPG, we want to predict. And we are saying, hey, X, rest of the column. So if we have file with a MPG, we are saying, you know what, remove MPG, because that we want to predict. Rest of the column, we're going to say X. So that X is your rest of the column. Once you have that, we are saying convert categorically variables. Category means you are now saying which variables are category, like high, medium, low, like type of thing means category. So you are defining, and then you are saying drop the first. So you are dropping the first wherever it is true. So now you have numeric value. Now using this numeric value, you are now saying, you know what, I want to create a training data and test data. Again, you are using slicer 20, means 80% data you are using for training and 20% you are using for validation. There is no secret. You can also do 25 or 30. Then you are again using linear regression. Again, you are using this, and then you are evaluating. Please understand, evaluation is very important. Here I'm using R-square. Over there, I was using RMSE. If you know the R-square, if it is 0.95 or above, great. If not, that weak relationship means my prediction will have error. Remember, Excel knowledge is helpful here. That's why I always tell people value chain. You cannot learn all in one class, but all class should be combined. Everything will make sense to you. R-square, if it is above 0.95, your prediction has a solid value. No problem. If you go down, now we are predicting. And once we predict, we are going to present here. So now we're going to highlight all those exercises, all the steps here up to this one. Sorry for that, up to this one. So copy this whole lab, right? And Control C. And now go back to your SageMaker. And you can see that I'm just pasting all steps at one. You can do one at a time, but again, now we know the concept. The last thing here, just want to make sure you understand the prediction, which is now it is predicting actual MPG and predict MPG. So you kind of give idea. Remember, we did a test data. So we know what is the actual value. And we are predicting. If they are coming closer, then we should have confidence. And this head 10 means always show the 10 item. So it will show on the screen. Now I click on here and I'm going to click on play. If I click on play button, you will see the result. It will be much faster because this is a tiny data and you got the result. Give me thumbs up if you're able to see the result. Got it? Everyone got it? Very good. And you can see R-square is very poor. Ideally, R-square should be 0.95 or above. So R-square is poor, and you can see there's a significant differences between prediction, right? So prediction is not perfect. Again, because your data, which is not correct. Now what you need to do, as Mahir explained, you need to keep going, you need to clean the data until your data is correct. Prediction is will have an error. And most of the time, this is what you're going to do. This is called exploratory, or we call experiment. You're experimenting because you did first experiment and you saw R-square is this. So technically speaking, if R-square is 0.95 or less, I will not even bother. I will start working on my data or cleaning steps. My goal is to get R-square stronger. Now, I'm not saying cook the number. I'm saying question the data, question the quality of data, question the credibility of the data, and then you try again. This experiment is very time consuming. Trust me, there is no secret of success. One of my projects I'm working currently, I've been spending for almost like 3+ weeks, and we are not even coming closer yet. And I'm afraid we have ended, and the data is still not there. It's not my problem, it's entire pipeline problem, right? Somebody collect the wrong data, somebody process the wrong data. So we have to go back and forth. Everyone knows that data is not producing right result, but then everyone has to tweak correctly. It takes time. You're aligning a lot more team to get the data right. Again, if your mission and if they all believe, people will work hard. Once you establish the what you call process in place, you will have smooth ride. Any question with this lab?
So if scores 0, 9, 0.5 is above, like our data is like clear, right?
Yeah, if it is less than 0.95, I would not predict. So your cutoff is 0.95. Yeah, if it is 0.95 or above, then you can say I have confidence in this model. Then you deploy it, which I'm going to show you. We have not deployed. This is only available to you on this model because you're an experiment. When you do experiment, you're closed door. You are the one knowing. You are supervising. Once you are certified, you deploy it. When you deploy, the rest of the people will use it. So right now it's in experiment mode. So let's go to next one.
Hey, Tushar, before you move forward, can you explain the convert categorical variables again? I'm not really understanding that segment.
Yeah, let's go here.
Yeah.
So if you can copy this URL, right? So if you can click here and copy this URL. So here, see here, the category variable is right now this one, US. So we are removing that. So anything is grouping or repeated. That's what we are removing. So like example, high, medium, low, because this does not help in regression. Remember, regression is all numeric value. Make sense? So
yeah.
anything is a spelling. Category means spelling, right? If it is spelling, you remove. If you have taken Power BI or Tableau class, we call it dimension. Dimension means like example, high, medium, low, or US, or product name, or region, state, city, quarter. Those are category. Category means you kind of group them. Just remove them because that is not going to help you. So that will, remember I was talking like something which is not helping you, you remove that because it will help you prediction. That's what it is.
Thank you.
Moving along. So I hope you are understanding. So I'm not going to go all this thing, but you can see there are, I'm just going to walk you through so you can try it out. Let's do one more exercise. This one, this is easy. Let's copy this and paste it here. This will do visual, basically. It will do visual setup for you. So same data, but we just analyze. Now we're going to do visual. So you can see visually that data is not really, line is not properly going through. You can see that there are a lot of up and down, and these are error. So now how do I measure the error? So please understand, error is nothing but the distance between these points. This is the error, distance between points. So you have a lot of error. Do you guys agree or not? Because you're not able to connect. This line you have is called best fit line. Best fit line, please pay attention. We are using algorithm called best fit internally. And this is created using random forest master algorithm. So random forest algorithm use regression and get you two things. If you remember spelling, y equal to mx plus c. Again, we have to spend a lot of time in Excel class. So you remember m stands for slope, which is nothing but this is the slope. The slope, if it is a 45-degree, great. If it is less than or more, then you will have error. And c is nothing but error, which is called intercept. So c. So that comes from regression, random forest regression. And then you try to draw a line. This line is also drawn by permutations. Try to find out where you have minimum error. And the minimum error you draw, and that's the best fit algorithm. But when you see this line, you still obviously see that there are a lot of points in above and below. This is also error, which is called positive error, and this is negative error. Again, it is trying to cancel it and try to get you the best result. But looking R square, I'm not confident to predict because R square itself is very poor. Definition of R square is if it is 95.95 or above, then I can predict, otherwise I can't predict. And visual is also confirming the line is not able to touch all points or the points are not closer to the line. Makes sense? So what should I do? In that situation, why these points are too far, right? What is going on here? Something is wrong or we are having a problem. Now, I'll tell you some examples so you'll understand. Let's a plane example, like in a plane or factory. I'm just giving you examples so you can understand where the problem could happen. So you know that plane is in taxi mode, then plane goes in, sorry, my mistake. Plane is in taxi mode, then plane goes in a runway, right? And then plane goes takeoff, then plane goes cruise control, then plane is landing, then again is runway, then taxi mode. So now ask yourself a question. If I get all data, then I will have a problem. Why? Because these data, when it's cruising, they have much more similarity versus the taxi mode. Do you agree or not? So your choice to make, like I want to do this data, this is called slicing, this is called time slice or window slice. Window slice means you take the data which is relevant to the mode, MODE mode. Please pay attention. Mode in the sense of what mode you are. Like taxi mode is a one mode, runway is another mode, cruise control is another mode, landing is another mode. Again, your runway is another mode, taxi is another mode. So if you are not clear about it, and if you take all data, you will have outlier because mode is different. Another example, let's say you have a machine, drilling machine. Let's say your drilling machine. Anyone who knows drilling machine, when you start the machine will have different speed, right? Then after maybe warm-up period, so this is called warm-up period, like this is. After warm-up period, machine will be like this. So now if machine is this, is called like a running mode versus warm-up period. So if you add warm-up period and machine period, then you will have a problem. So you can create a mode, warm-up mode and running mode. So you should slice that window, then you can have proper prediction. Many people do not know how to slice because they have not defined the mode, because data doesn't define mode. So you need to go back and observe the data, how you collect the data. And then you can find, like example, in this situation, give me some clue. What could be wrong? Why am I not able to get good R-square? These are MPG car data. Everyone knows car, right? Don't tell me that I don't know. All words are very, right? MPG, cylinder, right? All HP, hyper, like horsepower, weight, time, 60 years, like that. So what could go wrong? What kind of question you can ask?
So the more cylinder means more.
Yeah, so basically you mix match, right? You're mix matching. Why you're mix matching cylinder, right? Maybe you can say, guys, let's focus on 4-cylinder and 6-cylinder. I'm just making up, right? Because if you do a different type of cylinder, we'll have problems. Okay, what else you can ask?
So, yeah, the same thing with the weight, the pounds, different types of categories.
Very good. Keep asking, guys. Everyone ask one question. This is a common sense question. There are so
Was it
many
miles
problems.
or kilometers?
Very good. Very good. Keep asking, everyone ask. Common sense question, right? Because if you don't ask, this is what you will be asking in interview. How would you question? Like example, do you agree US and Europe will have totally different things? Japan will have
Liters
different.
or gallons?
Yeah. And then this will create a problem because Japan roads might be tiny, right? US road might be wider. Makes sense? Other country might have traffic. Now you make traffic data. If you put India, do you think you will have a problem? Of course. In India, you hardly drive 5 miles per hour. That's called fastest speed. In US, you might drive 100 miles and no problem. You can't compare. But here, what we did, we removed the country, but we are treating data same. Do you see the stupidness? Again, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking data. When you just remove country, doesn't mean you did right. You need to remove country specific data also. So you may need to cluster. Hey, am I going to predict US? I need a US filter. Give me thumbs up if you're understanding. I need a US data only. If I'm doing prediction for Europe, remember data drift and model drift, my data, what I'm predicting, I need to have that country specific cluster, and then I do that prediction will be right. Of course, if I do a couple of brushing means country specific or certain brushing, cylinder brushing, my R-square will be stronger. And just few, if that common sense is not there, it's going to take a lot more time. Make sense or not? I hope you are understanding this. This is not a rocket science. Majority things are common sense. Trust me, very simple common sense. Good news, if you know data, then it's easy. If you do not know data, like example, if you never draw car, then everything is foreign to you. But if you draw the car, you know house, then you know. If you know plumbing, you know traffic, most of the data will tell some story. And that's why domain knowledge is very important. And those who are thinking, right, we call creative mind, you can quickly solve the problem, otherwise it takes longer. Any questions? Okay. Now, based on the time limit, I'm not going to go all the lab, but I want you to try it out, all those labs. Like there's a k-mean, which is the clustering algorithm. So please try it out. Then we have other thing. You can try it out. These are all lab, which is working lab. So, and this is a classification. So let's do classification maybe quickly. So let me explain first. So what is classification means? So classifications, you can create like a special thing here. These are both our classification. Let me try this one. This is an interesting lab. You may like it. So I'm using a special, what you call flower or plant, I would say, easy language. Iris is a special data available, and from the data, same concept. I'm doing training and testing. I'm using regression. I'm predicting. But there is one thing we are doing, it's called confusion matrix, and that is very important for you to know. Interview question. So what is confusion matrix? So we as a human, please understand, we as a human, we have two things. One we call predict, which is called, we predict here. And when we predict, we compare our thing with actual. So there is two things. We predict, we as a human, we predict, and then we compare with actual. So when we do that, we have matrix created. So just example, if I say here, please pay attention, it's interesting. If I say no, so 0 means no, just an example, and 1 means yes. So I say 0 means I predict no, but actual can be 0 or can be 1. Do you agree on? So when I say no, I predict no, but actual can be two things, right? I can't be 100% 0. Actual cannot be 100% because prediction will have error. We know that, right? Prediction always have error. So if I say no, but actual can be no or yes. So there is a two possibility. When I say yes, actual can be no or yes. So first of all, give me thumbs up what I'm trying to say there. When you predict something, you say 0 means no, but in reality, 90% may be no and 10% will be actual, or 50% actual and 50% no. It means your prediction has error. Now, when you say 0 and actual says 0, it means this is the perfect thing. Yes or no? Means you're right. But this one is your error. I hope you are understanding this is the error. Means you wrongly predicted. Second thing, when you say yes, this one is right? This one is right because you predicted correctly. You and actuals are same. But when you did this one, you are wrong. So confusion matrix will tell you what percentage you are wrong. Listen carefully. Confusion matrix will tell what percentage you are wrong. It's a good thing to know. Good thing to know what percentage you are wrong. Yes or no? People on phone. Is it good thing to know? Irina.
Yes.
Irina and others. They are not. Alex, you are not even participating, my friend. Tell me, is it yes, good thing to know what percentage you are wrong? Answer is yes. Why? Because if at 90% I am wrong, do you learn something? If 90% I am wrong, do you learn something? Yes or no?
Yes, telling that you're totally off.
Your prediction is completely wrong. Right. If you are doing 90% wrong, man, you have a bigger problem. But if I say I'm only 1% wrong, it means I'm 100% confident now, 99% confident that I'm right. And that's the power of confusion matrix. Give me thumbs up. Why confusion matrix is super duper helpful? Because it tells you what percentage you're right and what percentage you're wrong. That gives me confidence that my model is predicting correct most of the time or most of the time incorrect. So now, if you see this one, it will get idea. So there are three like plants are there, a flower you can call. There are three types of plants, and we are predicting the first plant is a 0, second plant as a 1, and second plant. So we are only 3 plants. So think about cold drinks. Think about cold drinks. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Monster. Think about it. And you close my eyes. You close my eyes and say, which one is this? I say Coca-Cola. So let's say Coca-Cola is 0. So if I predict 0, then I'm right. But actually, in my hand is Pepsi, and I did Coca-Cola. It means I don't know. So I have 3 choices: 0, 1, and 2. Only 3 choices. But if I have 5 choices, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes sense? So confusion matrix depends on your choice. If I say yes, no, I have 2 choices. But here you have 3 choices. I have 3 plant or 3 flower. So definitely I need to predict 1, 2, or 3. So here we started with 0. 0 is the first one is the second one, and third. So here, this one is my prediction. This is my actual. So when I predict, you can see here, I have error here. I have error here. Now, if you look at what do you guys think? Am I predicting more often correct or wrong? Just looking confusion matrix. Quickly answer.
Correct.
Correct. It means my model is believable, reliable. We call reliable model. I don't have to go with anyone else. This is perfect example. That's the power of confusion matrix. Now in interview, people ask, how do you validate your result? R square, right? First is R square, but R square doesn't give me more percentage. What percentage you are wrong? R square say that you should predict or not, 95 or not. But 0.95 you predict, but it still doesn't tell what percentage you're wrong. Here, you're getting pretty good answer. You're getting answer that you're more correct. So that is what power of confusion matrix. How you create it? Pretty simple. There is a library which we use here. We are using this library. So here, see the steps here. So here, see, you are doing accuracy score, you got that. And then you are using confusion matrix library. That confusion matrix library comes from scientific learn. So let's do that. So I'll show you. So copy this portion, Control C, copy that, and go to here and paste it here. Please understand, this iris is a data. So if you want to print the iris data, you can. So the way this iris will create a data frame basically. So this is your data frame, and this is your source data, and this is a target. Target means your prediction. How do you know that? So there is a data, there is a column. So if you print here, there is a data and target. So you will see that. Just like a CSV file, this is the built-in data comes from data sets. Just like CSV file, you borrow from outside. Here, this is for learning purpose. They give you data as a just like Oracle database as an employee table and department table. This is just data. If you want to print it, you can print it. It is going to create a column, different column. Okay. Now this one is same thing. This one is same thing. So no problem. This is the only thing difference we are doing. So last time you did predict, and you define accuracy. But here you are defining model, and this SNS is coming from Sun, that the graph which we loaded library. That graph helps you scientific way to present this data. Now you click on run it, and you will see the data. Now you can see here accuracy also you are getting 93%, which is pretty high comparatively, right? So 93%. So here the only difference you did here is just use the accuracy score. And then you also do configuration metrics. So if somebody asks in interview, how would you validate your model? Use on accuracy score and confusion metrics. Confusion metrics is very powerful, often used in the real life because to prove justification. Example, this is an interesting question I'm going to ask you. Please pay attention. If somebody asks you in interview, and again, I need 10 seconds, instantly answer. Not like some of you are not answering. Why you're worried about right or wrong? Try something, because in interview, the only person will get a higher opportunity, a person who answers instantly. So if I ask you this question, your confusion matrix, you know you're predicting right. If somebody asks question, where you have problem? Where you have problem in this? How would you answer that question?
So mainly number 2.
Very good, because number 2, you're more error. And number 1, you have some error. But number 0, you're perfect. Do you guys agree? Right? Did it take more than 10 seconds? No, but you spoke. Yes or no? I don't know why we don't speak up. It clearly, loud and clearly saying that I have error when I'm predicting 2. So if I need to do action, if I need to take action, I need to investigate what's going on with 2. Yes or no? Should I investigate 0? Answer is no. Why would I spend time when I'm accurate there? I need to, if I need to prioritize, which one I will prioritize this one. So that is where, so like example, house price, office price, location price. So house maybe I'm accurate, but let's say office price I'm inaccurate. I need to focus on that model. Make sense? So this is where common sense comes handy. There is no science here. It's just to see, right? The curiosity, the questions drive you result. Got it? Okay. Try it out something, and there are some homeworks there. Please understand the homeworks are designed for you to learn. Some of the exercise which I have not done, but it's similar. You can try it out. You can. This is
I did get a different slightly different confusion matrix, similar accuracy though. But I guess it must be randomly pulling data from the data set. Okay.
Correct. Let's do this one, correlation, because I think Mahir asked question. So what is this correlationship? So correlationship means your data. So this is the Boston data, which we used a few minutes back. Now, this data these are features or classes. Please pay attention. These are features. So when I go to data file, and if I see the columns, right, all the columns which I see in the data file, these are each column. So I represent here like that. Now, these are features. So I want to know which feature has relationship with other feature. Let me repeat again. This CSV file, which we downloaded from Boston, has bunch of data. So now I want to know column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. I have 5 columns. How these columns are interrelated. So if you see here, x-axis, I have a column. These are all columns. And y-axis, I have a column. And I'm creating a mapping. I'm doing a correlationship matrix, a heat map. So what is this thing? So if you see scale, please pay attention. If you scale here, this is 0 scale. And if you go all the way down, dark blue is nothing but minus scale. So you're minus. And if I go all the way up, there's a positive scale, 1. So technically speaking, 1 means stronger relationship. -1 is also called stronger relationship. So far, so good. So if I'm closer to 1, it means 2 factor has a strong correlation. If I'm closer to 0 or 0.895, that's a weaker relationship. So here, if I go here, the first factor, and I check, is this relationship? No. So this factor has no relationship with other factor. So this is useless. This factor is useless. So I may be able to remove also. Now go to next one. This one, I don't see any relationship. So again, this is useless. I go here, there's no special relationship, a little bit coming stronger, but not, this one is also a little bit coming closer, but not that great. But still, this one is good compared to other. Now, if I go here, right, as I can see here, there's no relationship. If I go here, this one is stronger a little bit. This one is stronger. As you can see, the strong color getting. If I go closer, so this way I can observe which factor goes along with other factor. Make sense? Now, correlationship will help us. If you change this factor, there will be impact. Now here we don't have that strong correlationship. So it's not like one is dominated driver. It looks like many factors together helping. Like this one has a little bit stronger. You guys are understanding what I'm trying to explain here, right? Because if each factor, like example, if I know text factor, and if I try to see is text factor has any relationship. So if you see here, this one, that's himself, means this one is stronger. Do you see that? It means this one has red on. So red on has definitely factor affecting. So that one is definitely strong, 0.9, right? Closer. You have to see which factor. So this is kind of way you find out that if one factor changes, will it impact other factor? And are they positively correlated or negatively? So this is another heat map. So let's do this exercise so you can see yourself. Let's copy this thing. What we are doing here is very simple. We are reading the data and we are creating a data frame. And then we are asking correlation. And we are saying create a heat map. And that heat map will be generated. So you can see pictorial view and you can kind of observe how these factors are related. So let's go back and paste it here and run it. Yeah, I always like to do this way. The reason, because sometimes picture really helps. And you can see that again, this data is not good already. We know that because we were not able to predict correctly. So you don't have strong. But what if you have strong relationship? Then you observe this column and see what's happening. Are they in that column? And then you can draw the graph, special graph, and try to observe the pattern. So you know X changing, then Y is changing. If X is increasing, Y is increasing. So it will help you to find out how to predict certain things. Again, correlation matrix is nothing but it gives you idea which factor is associated with which factor, how strong they are connected, and how can you use for prediction. So this will be the correlation exercise.
Thank you. Is there something I probably there is somewhere where if you want to do 2 parameters against 2 parameters, I guess it eventually becomes infinite, I guess, but
What is 2 parameters?
like say age and radon together versus you know, versus tax and let's see, some of these other tax and some other variable. I can't in DS, like group together two parameter values.
Yeah, that's called that in that situation.
Multi correlated or something. Yeah.
Like correlation will normally work with one and X and Y like that. But what you are saying is, I have multilinear regression.
Yeah.
So multilinear regression where you have 2 factors, right? 2 factors combinedly impacting another factor. So example, you're in this case, let's example, just making a house year, right? House year and house space is impacting price, right? So these are 2 factors. So in that case, you use 2 factor and use multi-regression, which is called R square, multi R square. And if that R square is 0.95 above, then these 2 factors are really impacting collectively. But 1 factor may not be impacting independently, but 2 factors together impact. In that case, you use multi-linear regression, which is by default linear regression is doing.
Okay, what was that by default?
All this exercise which we did so far is by default doing that, because it is using rest of the factor and predicting the target factor.
Oh,
so
right.
So far, whatever exercise we did is like that. And you can draw like different graphs just to visualize also. So if you want to do this thing, why don't you copy that and you can present here. You kind of visually, you can observe. This is exploratory experiment, so you can observe. You can run it and check it out. So it will give you, oops, did I not copy that? Interesting. I thought I copied, no? I didn't copy. I thought I copied. Oh, what happened? Oh. Okay, let me try this one more time. Okay, here you go. Yeah, now it came. So you can see that this way you get idea that how these factors are related. So here, each factor, you're trying to connect the graph and each factor. So you can see here, like, you know, this one is, you're doing classifications on X versus Y. So here you can see there is a clustering happening. Here also you can have kind of clustering happening. So kind of get idea that some data difference is happening. So just like I think about mode, this one has a mode problem. So you can literally see there's a mode 1, there's a mode 2, there's a mode 3. So you may want to ask question, is there being a mode problem? Or this is a level 1, level 2. So here, because they have 3 type of plant, I think they can easily, this might be first plant, this might be second plant, and this is third plant. So you can see visually that some kind of way you can cluster them. Is it plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, or mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. So visually also you can analyze that. So far we are analyzing. We are not creating what you call prediction as such. This is exploratory. Graphs are all about exploratory. You can visually see how the data is looking. Good. Any question, concern before we do the master lab? Are you guys ready for the master lab? So this is the final lab.
Yes.
I'm hoping it will work well. Okay, this reason it has a lot of complexity involved. Okay, if it works, great. If not, you guys should try. So first, let me set the stage how the master lab will work. It's a little complex. Something you may feel a little bit awkward, but again, there's no choice. We need to learn. So the way lab works is here. You are kind of comfortable how to use Jupyter. So you're going to write the code. You will do that certain thing. And then you will create a model. Model is nothing but linear regression model, which is not a big deal. And that model, you're going to store it. When you store, you're going to store in S3, by default S3. You don't have to do anything. It's all code through. We're going to do S3. The lab which I'm saying, you write a code, and then code will generate a model. Model, you will store it. Then you write another program to train the model. So you write a program which is called train the model. So once you train the model is now trained, and then again you store that. Again you store in S3. And then you are now going to do experiment to test it out. This model is predicting right. So you do experiment to see the model is predicting right. So you do experiment. So model will now estimating right. Now you're saying now model is ready for the world. So now you're going to put this whole thing in some place which we call deploy. So you're going to now deploy. So when you're deploying, this is where the tough part starts. You need a proper role. You need a proper role to deploy. So when you deploy, your model is now going to run a particular machine. So when you deploy, basically, SageMaker will create a machine for you, and the model which you did, it will make the model here, and on top of model, it will add a web service. Those who are taking web service class, you will now understand. So there is a web service it will add, which we call here, we call interface. What we call interface. Now training itself is a special thing which is called job. So you have to train with not one or two, you have to train with thousands of data points. So we'll see that it may take a minute or it may take a 5-10 minutes because data is still less. In real life, it takes months training itself. Now you deploy, model is now running in a machine. So EC2 machine it will run, model is here, it has an interface. Now what is an interface means? Now this interface allows a website, like example, your mobile phone, and you are using some mobile applications. You are now going to call this interface, which is nothing but web service, then you get the result. Or you have Python program, your Python program, you write this interface name and you call and get the result. So technically, these become a client application. Client application use your model. So you are already created a model. You already created a model in lab, but so far you did not deploy it. And this exercise we are going to do is sophisticated exercise, how real life data scientists work. If you understand that, that's it. Now, mechanics, you clearly understand every exercise you will have data. Every exercise you're going to go through the cleaning, process, visualization and all. Then ultimately you are going to create a model. Now model is normally created with a couple of libraries. We are using linear regression and we are using random forest, but it doesn't matter. You can use, if you're doing clustering, then you're using k-mean. If you're doing classifications, the different model depends on your choice, like what type of problem you are solving. And then training will require, you all know, estimation required, you all know, validation required, you all know, accuracy required, confusion metrics, you all know. The deployment part is the most challenging part. And that part, hopefully it will work. It took me a long time to deploy. It gone through a lot of error. What I found is when I was deploying, I need to create a special role and I need to give a special permission. And the role and permission took a long time to figure it out. Once I did that, everything worked like a charm. Okay. Any questions so far? What I'm trying to explain? Everyone is good? Okay. So
What was the letter E? The third
estimation.
box. Estimation. Okay.
Yeah. So you are predicting. Estimating is nothing but predicting. So when you predict, you say like it's right or wrong. You check the quality, and if quality is not good, again you go back. Training, again you go back. If training is not good, go to model, go to data. You have to keep going until estimation is right. You're not going to deploy. Right? So deployment only you do when everything is kind of right. Now, this exercise we are going to do very differently. Okay. Why don't you all go to Google Classroom, and in Google Classroom, there is a lab file. Give me thumbs up if you're able to see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these are all files we need to download. Okay, we need to download. So how do you download? Very simple. Right click, open a new tab. Open a new tab. And then once you open a new tab, you just download. Very simple. Download anywhere. Okay, download anywhere. So you can download. Make sure you understand. Right click, open a new tab, new tab, and just download. There's a download button. You can see on the screen, download. Right click, open a new tab, and download. Right click, open a new tab, and download. Click on the download button, download, and then download anywhere. And the last one is the Word document. It has a mastery. All the mastery is here. So right click, open a new tab, and download the Word document, and then open it. And then open it. So once you open it, we are good to go. Let me know if you're able to download it. At least you're able to download it.
Yes.
Right, everyone should be able to download. I'll walk you through. Don't worry about, don't panic, because first, if it works, then I can explain. If it doesn't work, what's the point, right? So let it come. Right now, I'm able to download. All my files are here. So you can see I have quite a bunch of files, which is then modified. So I should be having all the files on the top. And this is the file I download. So you can see here, test client, end-to-end. There should be interface file. Where is the interface file? I missed that. Interface file. Down. Why? Interface file. Yeah, this one. Right click for a new tab and down. So that should download anything. Okay. So that's file is here. So now I have all files here. Now, if you have Word document, you can open a Word document and it will look like this. Give me thumbs up if you're able to see this. You can see that it has a complete thing. I don't think you will be surprised because you have understood so far and you've been very active. So we are going to do training, we're going to deploy, and we're going to involve machine learning library. 99.99 machine learning library works exactly the same thing. SageMaker gives you complete environment where you can do all without installing, without configuring end-to-end in less than 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And that's the beautiful part about SageMaker. If you try to do by yourself, it will take weeks to set up the machine, and it's pretty tiring. And this one is simple, scalable, and secure. The simple means you don't have to do much work. AWS does. This is the managed service. SageMaker is a managed service which allows everything. You just ask and they will do. Secure, because AWS will go through security, who does what, when, and how. And scalable, if more users are calling, like example, you have one user call or million user call, you don't have to worry about it. Your model will still work. Why? Because you automatically scale. So you don't have to worry about that. Hey, one user is calling or 100 users is calling. It's pretty good. So here, the first thing we need to create is the IAM user. Okay, you need to be supporting me, because if you are not basically understanding, just like we create a lax user, we can use lax user or we can use a SageMaker user. So in here, I created SageMaker user. Use SageMaker's Jupyter layer, which you have. We're going to use random forest. We're going to deploy the model and use HTTPS, invoke endpoint with Python, and understand. Now, first is you should be in Virginia, which we are, and create IAM user, and we'll start with the IAM user, right? So the way this whole work will first IAM user, then we'll do SageMaker domain, which we have open. So we are already there. Almost all steps you are there. Majority things you have. So I think no problem because you're already there. So only thing we don't have is IAM user. We'll do that. And IAM user has, these are just information. So for you, a little bit reading about what you do, all kind of know well done. Now, if I scroll down, we're going to predict later, but here we are going to use Lex user. So we already have Lex user. No problem. We logged in. Now we are going to create a Lex user. Please understand, Lex user should have this permission. So These are all permission we need. So we'll double check our lax user and we'll see that we have permissions like that. Okay. So please understand, we are AWS, we are using lax user. We want to make sure the permissions are set up here. Most of the permission we have, and no problem. Then we will create another role, which role will be SageMaker execution role. We'll create a role. And there are two types of permission we'll give. One permissions we'll give is normal policy, which is called attach policy. So this many policy we're going to attach, because without that, it will not able to deploy. And then we have to give trust policy. So I have done trust policy here. So I'll give you. The only thing you need to change is your account number. And again, if your account number is not changed, it won't work. So instead of this one, it should be your account number. Again, I'll walk you through these two things. If you do it, my hunch is everything will work smoothly. Okay. So right now we're going to do step by step. First thing first, let's do lax user. Right. So lax user we already have lax user, but we want to check the permissions. Okay. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are all SageMaker. So no problem. The SageMaker full permission we need. SageMaker canvas, we are good. Okay. So let's go back to our, and what we're going to do, we're going to create a tab. I'm going to close this unnecessary thing now because I don't need anymore. Right click and I'm closing. But I'm in a SageMaker. Sorry, I'm going to console. Yeah, I'm in a console. So this is my console. Understand? From console, I'm going to search IAM. So let's search IAM. IAM. The reason I want to see my user. So it's not typing IAM. And I'm going to go to IAM service. IAM stands for Identity Access Management. This user which we are using in order to do all the lab. That's why that user is important. This is the IAM user, Identity Access Manager. And now click on users. Click on users. And once you click on users, search your existing user, which we all are using, called lax user. If it is not there, you create it. So we're going to search lax user and we're going to click on lax user. I think you all have, and I don't think it will be a difficult part because we did quite a lot users, and we search lax user and we click on lax user. And in that, see if your permissions are there. If you don't have permissions, what you need to do, you're going to do attach permissions and search the permission and see if you can make it. So why don't you click on attach permission? You might have 1 or 2, 4 permissions you might have because we started with, but just see if you can give these permissions. I don't think these permissions too is required because that's what Canvas specifically, but let's see if you can complete quickly. So go to attach permissions and then check necessary thing. So once you get a check, it will be added. And once you are done, do OK, then your permission will be reflected. See if you guys can do it quickly. Any problem? Let me know. Please speak up if you have a problem. If you are doing great, no problem. Give me thumbs up once you are done. But these policies we needed. Good. I'm making it easy for you because some of things I want to trial and error. It took me quite a lot to do this thing because there's no special document which explains all those things. Even AWS documents also have a lot of gaps. ChatGPT doesn't even predict correctly, so you're going to spend so much time.
So we're adding on just the 5th permission, which is the Amazon SageMaker full access, really.
It depends on what you have missing.
Already have the 4.
Yeah, perfect. Then add that. Yeah.
Okay, last one. Okay.
Yeah. Which one is missing? Just add quickly. Give me thumbs up if you're done. Again, try to go a little fast because we have a long run to go. Okay, it's not maybe not done correctly. Then we'll do next week. At least some step we can complete today. This is the life. If you are going to AWS, permission giving is very important because by default, AWS doesn't give any permissions. You need to give explicit permission. And once you give the permission, your user or role can perform a particular task. And the task related we are given. Okay. Now, I'm hoping you're done. Right? Now, click on the role. This is second step. Click on role. And in role, I have created, so I cannot do that. But what you need to do, you need to do create role. Create role. I will show you my role. So says maker. It's the same concept, just like user. Says maker. Execution. Yeah, this one. So this create a role, give a name, SageMaker execution role. Name doesn't matter, but remember you are doing this role. And
1 second, it's AWS service or account or identity. Which one we need to pick? Trusted entity
sorry,
type.
my mistake. Irene, are you with me or no? We are in
Yes. To create a role, you need to pick select trusted entity type. It's either AWS service or AWS account or web identity for role.
Role, now you're gonna see the.
What is the question? Sorry, question.
She's saying the menu.
Service says select SageMaker.
No.
There should be option called SageMaker somewhere.
Try to create the new role.
Okay.
But there are five radio buttons. Five. Yes. Which one we need to pick from here?
SageMaker. SageMaker.
Oh, first option, right? Okay.
SageMaker. SageMaker. Makes sense or no? Then go to next, right? And then you do next. Then next, and then give a name. So when you give a name, let me come back to mine. Give a name to the one I was talking about. Yeah. So give this name. Okay. We're going to change everything, but just give a name. And when you give a name, you may not have all these permissions, so start giving permission one more time. You might have only one. SageMaker full permission, I think it adds, but you need to add all permissions. So please add permissions. Everyone knows how to add permission, right? You created the role. Make sure the name, remember your role name, you only need to remember I added this role, but then permission wise, you add these permissions. So add permissions, add this one by one. Give me thumbs up once you add all permissions.
Somehow there is only one permission available for me.
It will be one once you create it. Then you have to search and add a permission.
Okay.
Once you create it, you will have only one. Complete that. Then again, add a permission. So you go to that role, SageMaker role, permissions, and then you go to add permissions and you have to add. Just like a few minutes back, you gave up permissions to the user, you're giving permission to the role. So hard.
For some reason, the role that I created, when I go back and search for it, it's no longer showing. It shows me like a long list of the ones with the same name.
Maybe refresh, sometimes browser refresh, and then type a couple of times, you will see
All right.
Browser refresh and try because it may take time. This one is missing link. Most of the document does not explain about this. This is where data zone means you, wherever you are deploying the, what you call model was not able to read the data. So I was having error. So this special permission I learned by trial and error. What you are doing is not a special thing. You are creating a role and then you're giving permission. That's pretty much you are doing. Role name doesn't need to be perfect. My role name is, I added this name, SageMaker execution role. Then I give a permissions. And I think clicking here, check. You can add as many times as you want, but give permissions. Once you are good, give me thumbs up. Some of the steps may not work straightforward for you, and I'm hoping you will work and try to make it work. The reason you're doing first time. First time, if it works, it's a miracle. The reason it doesn't work that straightforward. You may have error, lots of error you will have, trust me. But my goal is to minimize as many error as possible. But if it works, I will be super duper happy today. Why? Because it works in my machine, and if it works in your machine, that's the right findings. Because I found error, I fix it. But it is possible you may find some more error, and you have to fix that. Because even though I'm showing what permission you need, if you end up giving wrong permissions or miss permission, you may have different error. Give me thumbs up if you're done.
So in creation of the role, if it doesn't show up after several attempts, should we go in and try to create it again, or would that cause a conflict?
No, you can create another one. Yeah.
All right.
Make sure at the last button, there should be a button called create role. It should say the create.
Yeah, I pressed that and it's still not showing up for something.
Make sure you remain in a Virginia when you do all those things, right? All those things. I'm hoping you're in Virginia. And remain in
mine
Virginia.
is showing global right now, like yours.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But when you, you're same in my place, so should be fine.
That's right.
Irene, are you able to give a permission or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All done.
Good. All.
Yeah, David, I think the role that's created, the date, the timestamp is a little bit different. You just look for that name. And it should work.
Yeah, because I saw they created 12 minutes or something like that.
Right. SageMaker execution role. You should just pick that one, even though the timestamp didn't look right.
All right. Thanks, man.
Okay. So I need to go a little fast because otherwise this will not done, because it's training job and it will be time consuming too. Otherwise we'll not be able to complete. So allow me some of the steps. You may want to watch recording and try to do that, because if I can show you the process, you will be able to complete this thing. Otherwise my machine needs to run and it is going to cost money too. So let me cover some of the steps you can follow. Even though some of the exercise won't work, you can fix later. So right now, let's do one thing. Go back to your SageMaker, and you're going to click on plus sign. Sorry, my mistake. Upload sign. Sorry for that. Click on upload. You're going to click on upload. So when you click on upload, it will give you options to upload from your local machine like that. And you're going to upload one by one. Please follow me. You click on upload. Make sure you see on the screen. Otherwise, you will. What did you do? You're going to upload. You're going to upload one by one. Interface, test client, train, and end-to-end SageMaker. You're going to upload all 4 files one by one. Once you upload, give me thumbs up. Should not be that difficult. I have done all heavy work. I'll walk you through a little bit so you will understand what each file does. It's not a rocket science. because I try to keep it very easy model, which can be done in 10 to 15 minutes, but you can create more complex if you want to. Okay, so now, thank you. All the steps is in Word document. Again, I highly recommend that you can read that. We have one small challenge here, which we have to fix it. Those who have done a role, those who created role, one step we need to do. So this trusted policy we need to add. Please understand. So you have Word document, make sure you pay attention, a little bit different. This trusted policy, please pay attention. This is the role we created. You give permissions, right? That is this one, you did this one. But there is one thing called trusted relationship, which we have not done. We are going to do that part. I'm going to show you that. This is a text file, yellow highlighted. So you can copy that like this. You can copy. Please copy, Control C, copy that. So you need this copy part. Copy this, Control C, highlighted part. Everyone understand? Copy. Now go to your IAM tab. Go to your IAM tab, which is in my case this one. Click on trusted relationship. Trusted relationship, and whatever you have, click edit trust relationship, edit trust relationship, edit trust relationship, edit trust relationship, and paste what I gave you. Paste what I gave you. Paste what I gave you, and change the account number. Your account number most likely be visible on top of this. So change that. Only thing you need to change the account number, which I gave you, which is going to create error for you. Because you cannot use my account number. You need to use your account number. Let me repeat one more time. We are in the same role which we created. We are doing trusted relationship. In trusted relationships, first thing we're going to do edit. We paste our copy part, which we came from Word document. You paste it here and make sure you have an appropriate account number. Your account number is here. So you can put that number. Be careful. Don't use my account number. It won't work. Okay. What it does, it says that you are allowed to talk to this service with the trust. So when one service talk to another service, another talk to service, another service, you still have a trust. So you are good. The problem I used to have this error. Assume role. That was the error I used to have. And by doing this, I solved the problem. This is my account number. Make sure it reflects your account number. And then save it. Give me thumbs up if you're understanding and you're doing this thing. And that's pretty much important step. It took me quite a long time because what happened, every time I get error, I fix it, error, fix it, error, fix it. This is problematic, child. I didn't know, no document says that I have to do this. This is a data zone, means you read the data. This is EMR, ECBA. There are so many services internally used, which slowly and steady, the stack sessions, contacts, a lot of things, which is now working. So make sure account number is yours and make sure you save it and you're good. Now you're almost ready for stepping.
Wait, so, I got an error on principle, line 7.
I can't help that way. You just need to make sure you copy what I gave you. Okay. Only error you will have is this thing. Trust me. Okay. Remove everything and fix what I gave you because mine is working, so I'm 100% sure it will work. It's a copy paste error. Make sure you change your account number. There should not be any error because it's the working copy I gave you. Copy paste error you might have. Make sure you delete everything and paste your part.
Can you please scroll up? Just want to see how it lined up here. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, maybe use a notepad or something.
Oh.
Make sure this is your account number, okay? Don't use my number. That's why I put explicitly comment here. I added comment here, your account number. And you can see here, everything is here. Problem? Good. Oh. I'm only checking Ali because he's in a classroom. If he said thumbs up, it means everything is good because I'm visual and Meher gave me thumbs up. So 2 students did it, so there's no problem.
I got it.
Please understand, copy paste error is very simple and easy to fix. But I try my best to give you proper thing. That should not be a mistake there side, but make sure you double check, triple check. This account number should be yours, not mine. Okay, save it. So you're good. Now let's go back to our main item. Now double click on training.py. So I'm giving high level overview, but again, it's not that complex. What it does, it writes a program. Basically, it first says, you read the channel, basically default, because you need to run the environment. These are kind of environment variable. You are trying to find out the default location where the data will be. That's all you're trying to do. So directory, and then where is the data file? Because when you try to read the data, when model reads the data for training, it needs to know where the data is. That's pretty much it. So this is like kind of common boilerplate code. There's nothing special up to this. If data is not available, if this is not available, right, then I don't know the directory, so I can't read. So I'm going to come out as an error. This is almost every job you need this. So there is nothing special. Now here is the only part is the special is the training.csv. So let's example, if you're doing weather data, you do weather.csv. If you do Boston data, this is your data. Okay. So this is going to change. And here, you know what we did, tandem forest. A few minutes back you were doing, so I don't think you will have a problem. The data file, you don't give URL, instead you give a CSV file. And then rest of the things is clear. Up to this we were doing. Now we are saying, hey, we will save the model. And when we save the model name will be this. That's all this does. Extra couple of steps, store the model. So far we were not storing model. So these are the 2 lines we gave to SageMaker that, hey, my model, once you train, read this data file. Once you read it, follow that, and when model is good, you save as this. So model is saved. Give me thumbs up if you're clear. When you are doing the next exercise, you just need to change your data file. That's pretty much. Rest of the things will be fine. How this data file is created, I'm going to show you that. So don't worry, don't cry. Rest of the things remain same. No line. You don't have to change a single line here. You don't have to change single line. The only thing you can change is the y variable. If you particular column, if you want to predict, x remains same based on the data file what you need and whatever output variable you need. Rest of the things are common. There is no change required here. Make sense? We call boilerplate code. Okay? Now go to interface and double click on it. Okay. Now in interface, there are small functions. Please pay attention. This is like tiny thing, but again, very simple. So what is interface? Interface is nothing but web service, easy language. Please pay attention. Interface. So anyone who comes to you, that's coming through interface. So when they come to you, they're going to give you input. Do you guys agree? So there is an input function. So if you read carefully, input function. So when they send you data, they can send you data in CSV file or JSON. So you take their input. That's pretty much it. Input functions, how to get their header. Pretty good. Once you get that, once you get this input, this interface needs to know how to call model. So they use model function. Remember, training has saved this thing. So SageMaker will read that model. Once you're done, model is create. Once you do model create, then you are going to do generate output, which is generated by predict. Predict is the output. So this is generate output. That's pretty much it. So this is also boilerplate. You don't have to change a single line. Listen carefully. You don't have to change a single line forever in your lifetime. Make sense? This is an interface. What is interface means? It is very generic. Model name is created by this guy. If your input comes in CSV form or JSON form, output, that's it. You don't have to change single line. Give me thumbs up if you're understanding. I have done for you. This is generic enough. It will work for all exercise. You do not need to change a single line. Clear? Don't ask me, how did you create it? It took me weeks to create that. Why? Because it is generic enough that it will work for all exercise. Why it is needed? Because SageMaker only read this file, and SageMaker will know how to get input. SageMaker will know how to read model, and SageMaker will know how to do output. That's why interface is about. Okay, and name has to be fixed. Interface, you can't change name. because SageMaker will automatically call. Now, the most secret is here, which is, I believe, I think this one. No, not this one. Oh, yeah, here, this one. End-to-end SageMaker. Did you guys that end-to-end? You have it? Double click on it, please. You have, right? We downloaded end-to-end. Yeah, we downloaded. You imported, so you have it. So now let's get started. If you have end-to-end, secret is here. I'm going to walk you through step by step, and trust me, it most likely will work. So this is the first step. We are saying, hey, SageMaker, tell me what is the version. So just click here and run it. Follow along. So you click here and run it. And it will give you answer like that. Your answer and my answer will match. It will tell you what SageMaker Docker you're using and what scientific model you're using. So that is the library. Pretty easy. You keep giving me thumbs up, guys, so we can move forward. There are steps where you don't give me thumbs up. I am assuming you're not following. So first step is just to see your setup and my setup is same. Most likely will be same. Now we are saying, hey, SageMaker, we are going to use this role, right? So now if you click on this one, you most likely get error. Most likely, no, you will not get error. You will get the role. So click on that. It will tell you the role. Now, this role is actually my role is this one. Is your role is different? So what happened is here is the small challenge. Small challenge. When you create a next time, because what happened? We have created domain. Do you guys agree or not? Hello, hello, hello. We created domain. So
yes.
When you create a domain, it created there are two things was there: existing role and create a new role. So what happened? When you created what you call create a new role. So it created new role. So when you do exercise after this class, you go back again and create a new domain. At that time, existing role, select the SageMaker role, which I created. Are you understanding? Because you already started today without creating role. So AWS has created a role for you. So your role is maybe having some underscore, some naming convention. That role doesn't have permissions. Remember, we give two permissions. We give permission and we give trust permission. So you don't have. You can give that, then it might be fine. Or when you create a new domain, right? Use this role which you just created, SageMaker role, and then you will have same concept. So you may have some problem, but don't worry about that part. You can do later. But this role is the one who's going to do magic. Don't worry. We'll go in a few seconds. We can do that part separate. Now you are here. We are using iris data, which we talked about in a few minutes back. So we're going to do iris data. So just run this thing, click here and play here. So you can see data. You will see the data, which is nothing but this is like a data where this is the column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and this is the target. Target is empty, which you want to predict. So far, so good. Next, click going. Now here we are saying, please pay attention. We are saying that we are going to create training data and we're going to store it. And we're going to create a testing data and we store here. Remember, we were slicing. This is the same concept. In our previous lab, we were not storing, but here we are creating CSV file and storing. So what will happen? These two files will be created. So now you click here and play, and after a few seconds, you will see two files will be created. Give me a thumbs up. Good. And you notice that it does store the training file in a S3 bucket automatically. So it's stored to S3 bucket. Make sense? So if you are doing different exercise, just an example, if you're doing different exercise, you may have your data differently. Here you can use Boston data, right? Then you create training. You can write house data, and this is what you're going to change. That's pretty much it, right? You're going to change appropriate. Okay. So now we are ready to now create a model. So we are saying, hey, listen carefully. We are saying training is the file which we created. We are saying this machine you use and create this environment and now create a model. So this is going to create a model. This is going to create a training model. So check it out, what we are doing. So this is going to call training.py. So if I double click on training.py, training.py is very generic. If you ask me, very generic. The only thing it looks for training.csv, which is the previous step already added in a S3. We saw that. So if you change their name, you have to change this name. That's all you need to do. So if you remember in this exercise, step 1, this file you already stored, which training is using. And this one is calling training. Basically, what you are doing is you are reading that file and running the training job. So what training job will do, it will do all the magic and create a model for you, right? And that is what we are trying to do. This is time-consuming process. So if I double click here, and if I play, it's going to take a long time, okay? Really long time. You will get error. Because the reason you will get error, because when you're running your role, the role you are using may not work. So if I play here, it will take 5 to 10 minutes. If I click here, you can see right now it is doing. So for me, because I have a role correctly, everything is well defined. So if I'm here, check it out. If I'm here, sorry, start, you see this? I did this exercise, I ran it, and it says starting the training job. You also should be getting starting training job. Give me thumbs up if you are able to, right? What happens, it create a machine. Listen carefully. It create a machine. It use your program. It use your data, and goal of the exercise to create a model. It takes 3 to 5 minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. Now, while it is doing that, how do we identify that? So in order to identify, you do need to go back to your IAM user, just an example, and search SageMaker one more time. SageMaker one more time. SageMaker one more time. Go to SageMaker and go to that place where you were, and we need to see the job. So I'm going to SageMaker. Now, you can use existing domain or you can do open. I'm going to do open right now. I'm going to click on open. We need to see the training job completed or not. It's going to take time. So we need to go here, and here there is an option called job. So I'll show you. So here, you see training job, and it will show job is running. If I click here, training job, it will show me the job running. It takes a long time. So you can see in progress, and you can see our date. Give me thumbs up if you're able to see that. It significantly take time, okay? It's going to take significant time. Until it completes, we cannot move forward. You most likely going to get error, most likely get error, either here or next step. Why? Because your role which you are using does not have data permission. So you most likely going to get error. Now you can say, but how do I find? So while it is in progress, you can click on the job. Please do so. Click on the job. So when you click on job, it will give you options called CloudWatch. It's going to give you option for CloudWatch. So go back to the training job. Wherever your job is in progress, click on the job. You click on the job. If you click on the job and then you click on the CloudWatch log, click on the CloudWatch log, and it will be doing all the magic. Okay, so you have to see the magic, what's going on. If it says success, then you're good. Otherwise, you have to see error message, search in ChatGPT and find. I know the problem. The problem is the role, which we figured it out. But you have to see here and then try to understand. Otherwise, you will not know why job is failing. So if I go here, there is a log. There is a log stream. So if I see the log stream, if I click on the log stream, it will tell me what my job is doing. So if I click on that, it's going to give me clue. So you can see right now my job is successful. My job seems like successful. What about you?
Success.
Very good. So at least you're moving forward. Congratulations. So let's go back to our SageMaker wherever we were before. So congratulations. And here you will see a bunch of things. And at the end, if you see here, you will say job success. So it took dog time and job successful. Do you guys agree? So the reason it is magic because the training file is properly done. Okay, now we are now going to do. So model is there. So now we are going to create a model. Please pay attention. And this model, we're going to say this model is being accessible through interface. And then we are going to deploy. So first understand what we are saying, model is there. We are saying model will be only accessible through interface. This model name and all is created here. The interface file knows how to read model and it will be making a web service. And we are going to deploy. So we are deploying, we are using one machine, but if you want to do more machine, you can do that also. So let's go back to interface one more time. So if I go to interface one more time, you see the model. This model is created by training job and rest of the thing is input and output. So perfect. So let's go back and run it. This one is a little faster. The only thing is it's gonna give you this sign. Listen carefully. Dash dash means progress. If you get exclamation means everything worked. If you don't get exclamation in less than few minutes, like 5 minutes, it takes 4 to 5 minutes. It means your job failed already. It means you need to troubleshoot. So right now, let's click here and play. So if I'm playing right now, you can see right now, it's going to take significant time. Why? Because it's going to start the machine and then it's going to say dash, 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 dash. I spent almost like, I would say 4 to 5 hours to get tired with this dash. Why? Because every time it errors out. The reason, the permissions, which I gave you. So right now it is doing that. So we'll go back to our SageMaker main window. Remember we were checking job. Let's go back to SageMaker main window where we were checking this one. And here there should be interface. Yeah, here you go. Do you see this interface endpoint? Let's click on it. Without interface, you cannot use model. So you click on interface. Somewhere you will see the interface is in progress. So you can see right now creating. Give me thumbs up if you are able to see here. Just like training job, now there's an interface. And if you click on it, so if you click on it, it will give you idea what it's doing. So if you click on that, it is right now creating a URL. So this URL is nothing but web service. Until it is done, you will not see the job completed. So you have to wait for that. If you want to know error, you have to go here, check the error. Every time it will fail, right? Because so the way like dot until you get exclamation, you are not good. So once this is working, your model is deployed and you can use it. So right now, let me go back to mine. Mine will go through that because I have tested it thoroughly, so should not have problem. You can see I have dot. It's gonna very soon it's gonna give me exclamations. In your case, most likely you may not get exclamation. If you get exclamation, you're good. You don't have to worry about it. But I'm pretty positive you will have error because you are using role default and default role most likely will not have data zone permission, model permission. So that way you will get an error. So you may want to do again, but when you create a new domain, make sure you use your role and you should be fine. Any questions so far? This is the last step. After that, it is deployed. It is deployed and the machine will be running on a server. So we can test it. So I'm going to explain while it is deploying. So this is now testing model. So here I'm saying, hey, model is deployed. So I'm going to say predictor. Using predictor, predict. So this is sample data I'm saying, and it is predicting. Means like remember we talked about there are 3 types of bushes or flower. So I'm predicting first is first, second is 0, 2, 1. So I'm predicting that. So this is the prediction. I'm using input data. So this is my input. This predictor is going to call your interface. Interface is call your model. Model will now predict, and this is the prediction coming. So this is one way I'm predicting. And then there is a second way I wrote a Python program. So I can write a Python program. I'm using Python program and say, you know what? I want to use this SageMaker endpoint. This SageMaker endpoint I got from this window. So this is the SageMaker endpoint. So if you see this thing, this is my endpoint. This endpoint, I took it from here and I wrote a Python program. I wrote a Python program through Boto framework. I say, you know what? Go to SageMaker, check my interface. This is my input. For this input, predict what would be the bushes or flower look like. So I pass an input. I pass input as a web service. Remember request response? I pass as a request. Once I pass the request, I'm invoking web service, and I'm sending my JSON. I can also use Postman if I want to. I can pass the JSON through the Postman, and I should be able to get the result. And that's what it is doing right now. So let's see if my model is clear. See, my model is successful. I'm able to deploy. Are you guys getting the exclamation?
Yes.
You are getting exclamation? Awesome!
Yeah.
Awesome! Very good. Now you should be able to predict. So let's click here.
Yes. Yep.
If you click here and say, and you are able to predict, so you should see the answer there. If you click on play, it should be the answer. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome! And then click on this one. You may need to change. You may need to change this name. Your name will be different. So how do you get? You go back to the things. Remember, I was showing the interface. In interface, you click on that interface, and that interface from this line to all the way, copy that, and then you get that. Or you can copy from here, whichever works for you.
And this line now yellow, maybe because we updated, right?
Yeah. So you have to copy this thing, right? Up to this, right? Make sure you copy only this one, and then paste it here. Sorry, my mistake. Where did it go? Yeah. So where did my? Okay, here. Make sure you add your endpoint here. Okay. And now run it. This is a pure Python program. This is a pure Python program. So technically, this program can run from anywhere, and you can call it. You're using Boto 3 framework. So if I click on now play, I should get this answer. Right now, the error I'm getting because I did not change it. So I'm going to change it because I'm using yesterday's model because yeah, I made that yesterday. So right now, this is my new model. So I'm going to use this model. I hope you are understanding. Copy. I'll copy this in Notepad, and maybe that way it would be easier. Oops, that's not right. Yeah, this is right. You guys are lucky today. Almost there, okay? So go back here and change this model. Basically, it's today's date. That's all it is. And play it, and it predicted. Pretty good. It predicted.